Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4playernetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 518. My name is Nick Henderson. I'm your host this evening. I'm joined to my right by Christopher Guthridge.
Hey, how's it going?
Nolan Hedstrom.
Hey, everybody.
And Christopher Davis.
Hello, hello.
You may notice Brad is out.
Down.
Brad's baby hiatus has officially started.
Because unexpectedly.
He's been all babied up.
Pretty sure it was expected. Usually, no babies are coming.
Earlier than expected.
Or maybe
By
a little
few days.
Maybe
yeah,
a
but
little
still, that's
earlier.
earlier than expected.
There was a chance we were going to be doing D&D tonight or a podcast with Brad in attendance.
I'm fairly certain he said I probably might not be there and I might have to leave during it. Because when a baby's born, it's not to the day. You
Tell
have
me.
like several weeks kind of, it's going to be born around here.
Yeah.
Sometimes babies just happen.
Brad is officially a father. So congratulations to Brad.
Yep.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Oh.
But here it is. Brad is a father, and his hiatus from the show has started. He won't be on the podcast for probably a good couple months. You'll see him here and there. You'll here and there on Twitter, and you may hear him pop up here and there with stuff. But for the most part, he's going to be MIA for a little while. But wish him the best. You can congratulate him on Twitter. His child was born. What was that? 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2 days ago. So
In the morning.
Brad Dad is officially a thing now. But the show will go on. We will carry on in his absence. There will still be video games to talk about, so we will continue to talk about them. And on several episodes in that hiatus, we're gonna have some guests on. We're gonna have probably Carlos, and I know we're gonna have Jack. Jack's going to be on a few times. Jack will for sure. I'm going to make this official now because he told me he 100% wants to be on the episode where Wolfenstein comes out. Oh. So that'll be late October. You can expect to see Jack in here for that show at the very least. But
Trying to get Matthew McConaughey. We're just seeing what we can do.
he has not. Matthew McConaughey has not returned
But
my
we're feeling
phone
pretty
calls.
confident.
I hear you can bribe Tom Hanks into appearing if you give him a typewriter.
Pretty nice.
A typewriter.
Yeah.
It's easier to get his brother.
Does
Sounds
he
just like him, though.
typewriters? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, he does.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks
So,
collects
but
typewriters?
it'd have to be like a pretty good
He
typewriter.
appeared on an episode of The Nerdist after they sent him a typewriter.
Dude, does he have... Do you think Tom Hanks has a room in his house just full of typewriters?
I think he does, yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Think about that. Tom Hanks is so rich that he can deal primarily in antique typewriters and not even have to worry about money.
See, Crispy's mic's still a little bit low. I don't know what's going on there.
Sorry, I will talk louder.
You just have these very low, sultry
I do.
voices.
I do. It just kind of floats under the radar.
Yes. Anyways, we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Mario and Rabbids is out. It's upon us. I do want to go ahead and
Do you remember when we thought that game was going to be dumb?
Well, do you remember when everyone in the world thought was dreading the announcement of Mario? Because everyone knew Mario and Rabbids was going to happen at E3, but nobody thought even when they started showing it on the screen, people were like, "Fuck no!" And then the moment you realize it's like an XCOM game, people were like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Oh, wait a second.
Tell me
There
more.
was some really serious
so
whiplash
painful.
on that.
Yeah. I think maybe some of the worst whiplash I've seen on a new announced
When we
game.
played it, we're like, "This is fuck you. This is good."
Yeah, so we'll talk about Mario and Rabbids in a minute. I do want to briefly mention, so it is the end of August. As you may know, we do a giveaway every month to people who help us spread the word about our podcast on Twitter and get involved in the show by leaving us comments, feedback, questions, and stuff after each episode. And we draw people's names at random. We have a winner for the month of August. I'm going to go ahead and announce it right now. On Twitter, this person retweeted our podcast several times over the course of August. Mishka Shepard is the winner for our giveaway. And Mishka Shepard, I've already been in contact with, has chosen Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle as her game.
Look at that.
His game. So we have already sent that game to this person. Congratulations. Thank you for helping us spread the word about our show and being a part of the community and all that good stuff. All you have to do to enter every month is just retweet our podcast when it goes up. That gives you an entry. Or if you hear anything that we talk about on the podcast and would like to voice your opinions on it, just drop us a comment at the on the site at 4playernetwork.com, and we will read those comments and respond to them at the beginning of the next episode, which is what I would like to do right now.
Read those.
Look, Mishka Shepard is in chat. Look at that. Congratulations, Mishka Shepard.
Before we proceed, can I ask you to promote Brad's other videos?
Yes,
No, don't
I
do
will.
it. It's a trap.
I will, but hold on. I just want to say, Mishka Shepard,
It's cursed.
you picked Mario and Rabbids, but we're about to talk about how much that game sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Poor
Too
taste.
late. You can't change it.
You shouldn't have done it.
It's too late. But yeah, congratulations.
Those
Couple
ravens have flown.
quick things. Discord is a thing. Please, if you're a member of the community and would like to be more involved, maybe chat with other people in the community or even chat with us, you can drop by discord.gg/4player. We are in there. It's free to join. We'd love to have you. And you can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. We're still in the process of rolling out our new branding. You may notice a new logo on the screen tonight. We've already sprinkled it out on like Twitter and Patreon and stuff, but I'm still kind of getting some of those updates done. So over the course of the next week or two, all that kind of stuff will come to fruition. Is that
Sure.
Good enough.
We'll use that term. But yeah, the video that Chris Davis is alluding to is Brad Simons, just in time for Brad's baby too. We released this video and then Brad had to leave for a while.
He got really introspective.
He got so Brad's top 10 games of all time is officially out in the wild. We've been talking about doing this for a very long time. We're slowly working on them. We're trying a new format too. So we're having conversations with other members of the podcast on the videos about all of our favorite games. So check it out. Leave us some feedback. I'm sure Brad would love to hear your thoughts on his games. He would love to see more of your list. So if you want to leave a comment on the YouTube video or on the site at 4playernetwork.com, drop your list there. We'd love to see it. But you will see the rest of our lists find their way out in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled for those. But now, feedback from our last episode. Cue the overlay. Cue the overlay.
Oh, he wasn't ready.
Yeah, I didn't
Pew, pew.
load it.
Wait for it.
I didn't load it.
What?
Cue the overlay.
And
Cue the
overlay.
Cue the overlay.
Well, I'm
Let's
sorry I
throw it over to
can't.
Chris. Cue the overlay.
Cue the overlay. I can't do it without the overlay.
Then I'll do it in post.
You know,
Just
we're
pretend
not
it's
going
there.
anywhere
Pretend
until you
it's there.
load up the fucking overlay.
Really?
No.
We're stopping this podcast.
No, we're not. Okay. All right. Drew327 says, Dino Park Tycoon was awesome when I was a kid. Dino Park?
Yeah, he's
Tycoon.
talking about Operation Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Park.
I was about to say, was there really a game called
No.
Dino Park Tycoon?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
There was Zoo Tycoon.
But that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so Dino Park Tycoon was awesome when I was a kid, so I look forward to Frontier's Jurassic Park game, which we talked about in the news last week. Planet Coaster is great. I had to quit because I was overwhelmed with the possibilities. Yeah, I've actually never played a tycoon roller coaster tycoon type game in my life. I've seen lots of stuff about it.
Will soon.
I know
You
they're
should.
popular. I think this is going to be my entry point into that genre, assuming it's good. I mean, I'm going to wait kind of until we see what the response is to the game, honestly. But
And all it
you know,
took was some dinosaurs.
all it took was some dinosaurs. I mean, come on, that sounds fun.
Jesus. Yeah, it does. It really does.
I'm looking forward to it. That comes out next year, so not too long. Wait on that one. Mr. Greentos says, on Final Fantasy 15 getting a crossover DLC with Assassin's Creed, which we also talked about last week.
Oh,
This-
yeah. I forgot how fucking stupid that sounds.
Yep.
Well, get ready, because this isn't the first time a Final Fantasy game has had such a crossover. In Final Fantasy 13-2, there was DLC for both Assassin's Creed armor as well as Mass Effect armor.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
For the
it was
protagonist.
I remember the Mass Effect armor. Yeah.
And I know no one else in this room really played Final Fantasy 13-2.
But that was just like DLC equipment, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like
This is like what they're doing now is like an
story
actual
content.
This is maybe a step above that.
Trying to fold those two universes together.
On maybe a side note, I've said this before. I think I'm the only person who's played 13-2.
Correct.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah. That game is not bad. I like 13-2 and 13-3. We're gonna Lightning Returns. Those are both better games in almost every
Nothing-
regard than 13.
The best thing that came out of
The best thing that came out of 13 was 13-2 and 3.
no, the best thing that came out of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 was
Oh my
Lightning
God.
Returns Final Fantasy 13 to GameStop.
Oh my god.
was-
you know
Wait,
what?
what?
I fucking hated that game because of that.
Wait,
because
what?
the title of the game is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. So like when I was at GameStop, that game was listed in the system as Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, so you had to alphabetize it in the L's instead of the Final Fantasies.
Oh,
pe-
God, that's
people-
bullshit.
Well, no, the joke.
There was lots of memes that was Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 to GameStop.
Yeah.
Like as she's returning the game.
Oh,
There you go, Nick.
It's a sentence.
There you go.
dank
There you
meme or something, right?
It's pretty dank.
Exactly.
Well, it was.
Whatever that actually means. He goes on to say, also, Final Fantasy 13-3, aka Lightning Returns, had a Tomb Raider outfit DLC.
I remember that
I
one,
never
yeah.
Doesn't
played with that
surprise
either. Bonus, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood lets you unlock Raiden's outfit from Metal Gear Solid Rising by beating all the tutorial missions. I never
do
knew
not
any of this.
remember that.
The first, wait, which one? The first Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Oh, Brotherhood.
I played the shit out of Brotherhood, and I don't remember that.
You
Yeah.
play as Raiden?
was Metal Gear Rising out around the same time as Brotherhood? I feel like that came out way later.
Now, Metal Gear Solid 4 had the Cloak of Ezio at launch.
Are you sure this is Brotherhood?
Brotherhood came out in 2010?
Yeah,
2011?
Metal Gear Rising was
What
like...
is going on? Are y'all making shit up?
No, the Metal Gear thing is true.
I mean, it sounds pretty dope.
I have a feeling...
Was it only on the PlayStation version?
MGS4?
MGS4
That's
is
the only
only
thing
on
it came out.
PlayStation.
No. I mean, I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Was that like an exclusive for PlayStation?
That would make sense. I
Maybe.
played it on the
because I
360.
played those on 360.
Yeah,
But-
that would make
Yeah.
sense.
What's
then.
confusing me is that I thought Assassin's Creed Brotherhood came out like years before Metal Gear Rising.
It did.
Well, it might have been.
Like late
did.
DLC.
Yeah, it might have been like
That's ridiculously
like
late.
Metal
I
Gear
don't think
Solid
that's true.
version. Right?
What is this? This is Brotherhood had
Or-
what?
Metal Gear Solid 4
MGS2, no.
Raiden. Oh, it's Metal Gear Solid 4's Raiden's
There you
costume,
go.
not Metal Gear
That
Rising.
makes more sense.
Okay, he put Metal Gear Rising here. I guess that was just a typo. But yeah, that's all stuff I didn't know existed. So thank you. See, the thing is, when I play games, I don't like. That's not usually enticing to me. Like I never feel the need to like play more of a game to unlock extra costumes, unless I unlock it in like just the first go through of the game. Like I don't really spend much time afterwards. It sucks because like this is kind of unrelated, but like Uncharted Lost Legacy, finished it this week. Unlocked all kinds of cool shit at the end, including the ability, I tweeted about it, including the ability to play through that entire game in a cell-shaded mode.
There's
which
a lot of
looks-
different modes.
Yeah, a lot of them.
There's like an 8-bit mode.
There's one
Yeah.
where it makes all the characters like vampires.
Yeah.
Like they have glowing red eyes and like pale skin and like everything has like a weird tint to it. Like it's like a lot of cool modes. But like
Holy shit,
this
it's real. You could in like the fucking cutscenes. He looks like Raiden.
Oh,
Oh my
see,
god,
let me
that's
see.
insane.
but it's Ezio just
Yeah.
with Raiden's
Like
skin.
yeah,
oh, that's creepy.
that's crazy.
Like
Well,
like
his-
put the
his
lotion in the
cyborg
basket skin.
yeah,
Oh god, that's
really.
creepy and weird looking.
Yeah, except Raiden's only like half a head, right?
Yeah.
pretty much.
He doesn't have a real body.
But anyways, Lost Legacy, you can play that entire game in cell shaded mode. Which, by the way, it's fucking gorgeous. I turned it on. I went to the open. I went back to the chapter where you're in like the Western Ghats, right? Where you're in the big
Correct.
open space. Holy shit, the game looks fucking incredible in cell shaded mode. But I was like, I'm not gonna replay this game right now. So I tried it out for like 5 minutes. I was like, all right, moving on.
Did you?
That kind of
cell
sucks.
shading. Did you see that thing with
The
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, like, somebody had found like a specific spot in the game where if they stood there, the cell shading didn't load, and Link looked like kind of like a high def, well, he had like a Two-Face thing going on, but like the side of it kind of looked more like a
Detailed
like a realistic Link.
oh, that's creepy
It
and
was
weird.
kind of weird.
So it's like this is what it could have looked like, but they changed. Like
Right.
maybe they did
Yeah,
some assets
right.
for it, and then they just kind of
I'm
skinned
pretty
it.
sure they always had it cell shaded. I'm pretty sure that's just the model that.
Yeah, who knows? Anyways, next we have Fourth Horseman. Well, he's okay. This is to Brad. Brad's not here, but he says he is listening. I think Brad might be listening either now or he'll listen to it later. So, Brad, this is for you. My best advice as a father in introducing games: pick stuff that's easy to wrap their head around, and preferably something they already have an interest in. For example, my son loves superheroes, so I let him play the Lego Batman Marvel games. He likes Ninja Turtles, so even the '89 arcade game on the recent Platinum version. What we deem as bad and boring may not be to them. He likes both Knack and that Platinum game, for instance. So let their interests somewhat determine what to let them try. If we can make it through some shitty games with characters we liked growing up, fuck you, Bart versus the Space Mutants, then they can too, and they have it, and they have it much better than we did. So,
nah, fuck that. He's grounded until he beats Demon Souls.
Just by default, like he's born grounded until Demon Souls is. If that was the case, I'd still be grounded.
Just doesn't understand why.
Miklopa says, since no one mentioned it, can we get an update on the status of his current Persona 5 playthrough? There you have it. That's the update.
Dude, that's like a game that's like, don't get me wrong. I loved what I played of it.
Yeah.
I don't have fucking time. There's too many games, and Persona's just like...
Oh, God.
I'm going to play. Hold on. Before the year is over, I'm going to finish that game. It's just more of like Persona is not a game you can play in 5-minute chunks.
Yeah.
Like, Rabbids just came out. I can pick that up, play a level, set it down, walk away, do something
Oh, your
else.
mic is disconnected.
Okay.
Reseed or something.
No.
Sorry.
Persona 5.
While he does that, Persona 5, I'm going to start that game before the end of the year. That is still sitting on my shelf. I think in the shrink wrap. I feel terrible about that. But I chose to play Nier before it.
With as much as you have to play, though, for the rest of the year.
I know. Yeah. Right now, I just want to finish Neo. If I can finish Neo...
I feel kind of bad for
Sorry,
that.
Hold on. What I was saying is Persona 5 is not a game that I can just play for a little bit. I think Rabbids is a good example. Even the other game I'm going to talk about tonight is a good example of something I can literally play for 10, 15 minutes and then go off and do something else. Whereas Persona
Those
5,
kinds of games are going to be Brad's best friend for the next few months.
Definitely. But Persona 5 is not a game you can just quickly play for a little bit. That game you have to devote 3-4 hour sessions to if you want to make progress and also like retain any of it. It's very easy to play a Persona game, put it down for a couple of weeks, and when you pick it back up, you're like, what the fuck was I even doing? I'm so lost.
Yep.
So I vowed that I'm going to finish Persona 5 before the end of the year. I fucking played through 3 and 4 before the release of 5. I'm going to fucking play it.
Yeah.
It's just time. And, the fact that the timing was horrible because it came out and then I moved and all this other crap was going on and now I'm in a house. But now that the house is kind of settled and I've actually started playing games again, I'm like, there was like a solid 2 months where I maybe played a total of like 12 hours of games.
Yeah.
Which was fucking horrible.
He goes on to say, I'm personally loving this new entry. Love the feeling of playing new Persona game all over again. But despite of this, I'm already 125 hours into the game, and I barely just started with the last main palace. I bought both Nier and Persona 5 back in April, and I haven't played more than 3 hours of Nier so far because I didn't want to jump between the two. It's exactly the boat I was in. I just did it the other way around. I did Nier first. I can't help to love this new entry, but also feel a sense of dread at this point. I guess it would have been easier to start with Nier first.
Maybe. Probably. It's shorter.
Just kind of pick... when that situation happens, and that's going to happen a lot. It's going to happen a lot this year. Like, there's one day in October where, 3 games come out the same fucking day.
Yep.
Just pick the one that you're most excited about, play it first, and you'll find time to play the other stuff later. It's not like the end of the world. I think we're under more pressure to do it because we're talking about it on the show and stuff. That shouldn't necessarily extend to you. Kenton FTW says, and this is our last bit of feedback for tonight, my son has recently turned 5, this is also for you, Brad, and I've been slowly introducing him to games. He loves Lego, so I showed him Minecraft, and he loves that game. Recently, I found out he's been playing video games with my dad over at their house. I was a little surprised when I got a video of him playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
What?
Luckily, they had the sound turned off, so I guess that helps?
Yeah.
There's a question mark in there.
Because you really can't tell what's going on when
the torture sequence happens. Yeah.
Franklin.
Either way, all he was doing was driving a car and crashing. Good news is he doesn't know he's hitting hookers, I guess. And there's lots of question marks here. Good news is he doesn't know he's hitting hookers, question mark.
Bad news is he's just hitting people.
The thing is, I've heard this story. I was playing PUBG with Kenton a while back, and he was telling me about it, because often when Kenton's playing, I'll hear his son in the background. Yeah. And his son's like, who are you talking to, Dad? All this stuff. And he was telling me they were letting him play Grand Theft Auto, and I was like, is he just... He's like, don't worry, the sound was off. And I was like, he's fucking running over people and stuff. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't seem like, oh, it's okay. He can't hear that he ran over a person and killed him. Yeah.
He can just see them.
Yeah.
He can't hear the screams. That's creepy. But anyways, thank you guys for all the lovely feedback and comments after last week's show. We'd love to have more feedback for next week. So, like I said, anything we talk about tonight, feel free to chime in on, and we'll read your comments at the beginning of next week.
Yep.
But now... let's talk about Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Woo! Are we ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Dude, this game.
So, Nick,
did my mic just die?
I hope so.
Oh.
So, you and I are the only ones playing it? Hold on. Try again, Nick.
Testing.
Yeah, you're good.
Hold on. I'm going to reseat it.
Okay. Well, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a pretty good game if you like XCOM or fun.
And it has Mario and Luigi, and it has Yoshi, and it has Peach, and it has a rabbit that looks like Luigi, and it has a rabbit that looks like Peach.
So hold on.
And I'm sure it has other things too.
It does. The intro to this game was kind of weird. The opening was kind of weird.
Dude, I still have no idea what the fuck happened. Exactly.
Yeah. It was like...
I'm not necessarily following the lore.
It was like first person, and there's this girl talking about like winning like a competition for technology, and then, and then all of a sudden she leaves the room, and fucking Rabbids show up in like a washing machine.
There's a level called washing machine?
The washing machine is a time machine.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, that they travel through time in.
Wait.
Okay, first of all...
are you telling me that the Raymond storyline takes place
before
in
or
the
after?
future of the Mushroom Kingdom?
Yeah.
That's not
Or like
all.
in the past?
I don't think that's
You
relevant.
said the time machine?
There's
no, supposedly it's another dimension.
Yeah, it's a
sorry, maybe it's a dimensional.
So there's
portal
time
between
travel
dimensions.
and interdimensional travel.
They're not just moving about the timeline. They're also hopping universes.
Correct.
Yes. Now, to be honest, I have avoided anything with Rabbids like the plague. So this is literally my first exposure to real exposure to anything.
He's doing the Naruto run.
No, it's funny. Like I started streaming this the other night, and I saw him like run around, and then all of a sudden Mario put his arms behind him like fucking Naruto running around. I was like, oh god, he's doing the Naruto run. Brad's gonna hate this game.
So cool.
The weird thing is he doesn't always do it.
I think it may just be when you. Well, he does.
No, there's only sometimes. I guess it depends on the area you're in and the speed at which he's running.
Guys,
not only that, but Luigi dabs.
You shouldn't make fun of him. That's his ninja way.
Oh my god. Anyways, so first of all, let's talk just real briefly about the history of this game, because it was announced. Everyone knew this was going to be announced at E3.
Yep.
And like we were talking about it before the show, and what you said was spot on, Crispy. Like I have never seen a game with more like whiplash as far as like the reception to it goes in my life, because everybody knew that this kind of leaked beforehand. We just knew that Nintendo and Ubisoft were going to be doing a crossover with Rabbids, and people were like, that sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever
Sounds
heard.
horrible.
It still sounds really stupid.
Yeah, it still sounds really stupid. And even when they started showing it on the screen, like people knew, like, oh, here it comes, it's happening. .gif, and then like
this was the worst kept secret.
Yeah, no, but actually it was kind of a really well kept secret, because everybody assumed they kind of knew what it was.
Secret is that it's good.
Yeah, that's yeah, kind of. Like. Even the moment this started showing on the screen at E3, people were, you could feel the eye rolls happening live. And then all of a sudden, people had the realization, oh my god, this is a fucking like XCOM game.
Yep.
And suddenly people were like, oh my god.
Like straight up.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And then from that point forward, everyone was like super high in this game.
Why did the first major like third-party knockoff of the modern XCOM franchise have to have Rabbids?
See, the thing is,
why?
First of all, we all kind of think Rabbids are annoying, Chris Davis, but you had this like unhealthy hatred
I kind of
Rabbids, and I don't know where it stems from, because
Chris Davis
they're not like so.
It's over marketed.
He doesn't have a lot of hate in his heart. Is all it is.
Yeah,
so
but all of the hate he does have.
So the things that he does hate, he hates intensely. With the fire of a thousand
very
suns.
Focused. Very focused hate.
At this point, I feel like I'm worried. Is that going to keep you from playing this game? Your hatred for Rabbids? I'll tell you this. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Rabbids, and I'll be honest, this is probably going to be the only game.
I'll
probably play before the end of the year. I just don't have time right now.
This is probably the only game I will ever play that has Rabbids in it, unless of course they make a sequel to this, in which case I'll probably
No.
Have you not heard of Silent Hill Rabbids?
Oh, that would be incredible. That would be incredible.
The first Rabbids game, like the Raving Rabbids, that was the technology demonstrator.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I refuse to believe you didn't play that.
What?
Raving Rabbids?
I have never played. I didn't even know.
All right, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Nicholas Henderson is a fucking liar.
Wait, what?
You played that game.
I did not play that game.
Had it.
You tried it.
No, I did not try it. I don't think.
It's just repressed memories.
If I did, I seriously don't remember it. The strange thing is here, like I said, I don't have much history with Rabbids. How's that? And I wasn't necessarily looking forward to the Rabbid aspect of this, but
and it's definitely not my favorite part of this.
it's not my favorite part. But it has elicited a fair amount of giggles for me. How's that? How's that sound? It's not like
maybe even a chortle or two.
Maybe. I mean, I think a lot of people went into this maybe expecting it to be like really eye-rolly, like bad and dumb, and it certainly is.
Oh, it is.
No, it's what's the word I'm looking for?
Endearing.
Well, yeah, it is
A
endearing.
tour de force.
No, God damn it, you're like ruining this thought. It's like
There's a thought.
the style of humor, the sense of humor is definitely
Sophomoric.
sophomoric, I guess. Maybe no. Yes, let's go with sophomoric.
Butt centric.
I didn't realize Rabbids were known for being so like potty humor, like potty humor was supposed. But I would be lying here if this game didn't make me smile and laugh, and most of those jokes that are eliciting that response are coming from the Rabbid aspect of it. Mario and Luigi and Peach and whatnot are not like necessarily the funny parts of this game. It's their interaction. It's their interactions with the Rabbids.
It's not like the Mario's never been like humorous.
Yeah. It's just been charming, and
Mario's always been.
And now it actually has some humor worked into it, and I'm enjoying that aspect of it. It's not going to like turn anyone, I think, from like hating Rabbids to like loving Rabbids, but it certainly is not offensive, and I'm enjoying it. But let's talk about the actual game itself. So because the big part of this game, the biggest part obviously is the XCOM aspect of it. How would you
turn-based tactic?
Turn-based tactical strategy game of
Rabbit Simulator.
I think it's fucking it's a rabbit.
So
you're killing me, Crispy.
Hold on. Let's talk about this. So this is definitely XCOM light.
Yes,
absolutely. It is nowhere near as intense as XCOM. And it is simple.
But a lot of that has to do with the fact that there isn't like the XCOM metagame, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Hold on. That is part of it.
And the world isn't going to burn down. You know what I'm saying? If you fail a mission.
When it comes to like hitting a character in XCOM, you have like somewhere depending on how far away you are, their cover, you have maybe like a 20% chance, or you have like there's only a 5% chance I'm going to make this shot, but I'm going to do it anyway. I got it! Oh my god, this feels so good!
Now it's
in Mario
50 or
plus
100,
Rabbids,
or 0.
you have 100% chance, 50% chance, or 0% chance. That is it.
Like it's.
And sometimes 50% chance feels like 0% chance.
And sometimes 100% doesn't.
I do. This is gonna sound maybe like it's negative, but everything about this game from the get-go, as soon as you kind of get into the meat of this game and you start playing these battles, everything about it feels like a lighter version of XCOM. Every comparison you can draw between this and XCOM, you can tell that it has been simplified quite a bit.
Yep.
I don't want that to be negative though, because for one, I think this game is going to do wonders for like getting people interested in this genre of game, because some people just are intimidated by XCOM. Some people don't know about XCOM. Some people will play this not having any idea what XCOM is, because it has Mario and it has Rabbids, and they'll be exposed to an entirely new genre of game that they would never even knew they were interested in. 2, it is so much less stressful. Like XCOM is so good, but holy god, is it stressful.
Yeah.
And as
that's also part of the metagame, is the fact that if a character dies in XCOM, they're dead. It's like you don't get that character back. All the experience they've earned over the game, that's just gone now.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, like if you die, it's like whatever. I mean, this next battle will go better. Yeah. And so I mean, there's also not that whole if I die, all the countries are going to back out and I'm going to lose funding, and then the game will literally end.
Yes.
That
which happened to me 2 or 3 times.
That is not a risk in this game.
I just want to say, just kind of a point of reference for me and my interest in the series. When XCOM 1 came out, was that 2009 or no? That was 2012.
Yeah.
I played the game. I think I lost the game 3 or 4 times, as in I failed completely and the world ended or whatever, and I had to restart the game from scratch, and then I stopped. I still put it in my top 10 because I loved it the time that I spent with it so much.
Getting back to what I was saying before, you're saying that this game is XCOM light. But is that, I mean, it seems to me that is completely a factor of the fact that this game doesn't have the expansive metagame that XCOM does. The combat, like the actual missions that you're running, I mean, are you saying that those are also a little easier than...
Yes.
They are.
So hold on. So there's, well, first of all, very big difference. There's no fog of war. The entire battle, you can see where enemies are.
Yeah.
Later on, enemies start to kind of like pop up in the field in random spots, but you'll usually know one turn ahead of time where they're going to be.
Yeah.
There's no like... There's no classes. While each character has different skills, they're pretty much the same.
Well, the thing is, like, well, like it's more like, so like Luigi, for instance, is a sniper type class.
Yeah.
And so he can make more long range shots, but he has like half the HP of most of the other characters. So there are some trade offs there.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is it's
diversity in unit styles.
You can't bring in 4 snipers into a fight. You can't, you can't choose that. You have your small subset of characters, and granted, I haven't unlocked all of them. I know there are more characters. Yeah, I know. There's you unlock new weapon types and stuff like that, but it's still not as in depth. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say how much variety is there in like the different equipment and different abilities that you can unlock for your party?
You didn't mute it?
No, you did.
It's unmuted.
We were talking the whole time.
Oh, but never mind.
Okay, but anyway. So yeah, no. So there is some variety. But once again, there's no like grenades. Grenades aren't a thing. I kind of miss that. You can't like choose to bring in a health pack or extra grenades. There's not that. That meta isn't like there.
I mean, is it possible that you just haven't unlocked that? Because the game came out Tuesday.
Well, here's what I want to say, because when I came in today and no one was playing it, and I was watching both in some battle. I'm just like 2 or 3 missions ahead of Nolan there, and he was like. I asked him if he had some ability, and he had forgotten about the skill trees.
There is a skill tree.
And the skill tree, there definitely adds some variety. Like, each character has like 3 or 4 trees that focus on different things, like combat and techniques and battle and like passive abilities that you can level up. And it's actually a surprising amount of variation.
I was surprised when I saw it.
Yeah. And I don't. It's kind of too early to tell so far. I'm in the second world, but like. I don't think it's going to be something where, like, by the end of the game, you've unlocked all the skill trees. I think there's enough there, and you unlock the skill points slowly enough that I don't think you're going to unlock. I don't think every character is going to max out all of their skill trees. You're going to have to kind of pick and choose, and you're going to diversify that way. And some of those abilities are really cool. Like there are certain abilities that you can trigger that are triggered specifically by enemies moving around on the map and then walking into your range.
So I mean, hold on. So I do want to talk
like
about
an Overwatch.
That. Like Overwatch.
Yeah.
So in XCOM, any character can have Overwatch. You can choose to not. Yeah, you can choose to not do all your movement or take an attack and then go into Overwatch. Is my mic messed up?
I think your mic just messed up.
No!
What is happening tonight?
I don't know.
Any character can do Overwatch in XCOM, which actually.
I'm ordering new microphones.
I've used much more frequently in XCOM 2 than I even did in the first one.
Yeah, that was definitely a really
perfect for setting up traps.
Exactly. You set up a trap, you draw an enemy in, you have everyone else in Overwatch, one guy takes a shot, and then everyone just fucking trounces them. The thing is, in this game, Mario is the only character that is Overwatch that has that ability.
That's like his special thing.
Does someone else unlock it? I don't know. Someone else might.
I think there are different abilities that act like Overwatch. I think they might do different things, but they are all triggered by enemies running into yours. And it's also like it can do some cool shit. Like Mario's ability, obviously, which is just to attack when an enemy enters your range or whatever. Like sometimes enemies will jump around the map, like they have these springs on their feet and they'll kind of bounce around, and they will literally jump. And if they jump into your range, it will go into slow-mo, and Mario will peek out and like shoot at them in the air, which is and it all feels really cool. Like a lot of the animation in this game is like super cool and super fluid. But I think there are some other abilities that kind of act the same way, and they might do different things, but they're triggered.
But does
same way.
that kind of indicate that? I mean, would you say that your play style in this game is a bit more aggressive than it was in
Absolutely.
XCOM?
I mean,
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Because there's not in XCOM, like, you're terrified to me, especially because of the fog of war,
right?
And because that's not here, you always kind of know where you stand. I will say this: the battles do get progressively harder, and some of the boss fights that I've done so far, there's mid-level boss fights which are pretty cool, and final area boss fight. I've only done one of those so far, and they do some like unique spins on the map layout, and it's not just like move around this map and shoot this dude until he dies. You have to do certain things to make them vulnerable to your attacks and that kind of stuff.
So is the game just purely these combat scenarios and running between them? Is there like no metagame in there whatsoever?
Not really. I mean, there's a small amount, but it's minuscule.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to discover and unlock in the world, like,
So
but a lot of it's like you can find hidden like concept art.
There's like a museum, and you can find a lot of things in the world that will unlock things for that museum. You can find some like weapons,
and some of it's pretty cool
in the world. If you and so that's the thing. The metagame of this is like Super Mario 3D World or 3D Land, where you're literally running around picking up coins. There are some very light puzzles that you can solve, but none of it is mandatory. You can literally just run from battle to battle.
And to be honest, like throughout the first world, so at the end of each battle, they give you kind of a rating, right? It's like I'm assuming it's bad, good, and perfect.
If everyone survives, is one thing, and then if you do it within an X number of moves, as long as you finish the level or the whatever within, they give you like a rating.
And I didn't get a non-perfect until like maybe this second or third to last battle.
I was playing right before the podcast, and that was maybe my 10th 11th battle. That was the first time I didn't get it because I finished in 7 moves and the requirement was 6.
But I can see it already starting to ramp up difficult. Not ramp it up, but like you start to see what they're doing to diversify the levels and make it more challenging. I don't think it's never going to be that level of XCOM where it's like terrifying to move.
But that's also kind of to a point. Like, I said you had to finish in 7 moves. There are things in XCOM where it's like you have 20 moves. And everyone dies if you don't get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like those battles are much more intense. There's usually way more enemies. The most enemies I've ever had in this is like 5, maybe 6.
So far, I haven't seen anything that like really cranks up the stress like that. I can see it getting more and more difficult. Like, I do feel a progression of difficulty. It's just a slow ramp up.
Granted, your team is also smaller in this than it is in XCOM.
But for the most part, it is like it shares DNA with Mario, and with the exception of Mario Sunshine, I think like it is meant to be not stressful at all, and I'm really enjoying the ability to play a game like XCOM without feeling that stress. So in that sense, I'm loving it. To answer your question too, Chris Davis, in addition to finding like concept art and stuff, you're gonna hate this because it has to do with the Rabbids. But if you explore the environment more, you can find like little Easter eggs of like Rabbids kind of around the world like doing stupid shit, like doing really stupid shit, and some of that stuff is pretty funny. But it's really more of just like for the humor of
as long as it's entertaining.
Yeah, I mean some of it's entertaining. It's and some of the cutscenes are really great. Like there's I'm not gonna spoil it, but after the boss fight that you're about to do, Nolan, there's a pretty great little cutscene, and it just kind of accentuates the humor. And it's like that one cutscene kind of summarizes the sense of humor of the Rabbids and why it appeals to some people. And I think it works. Couple other things I want to point out too: the combo moves that you can do with certain characters are great. Yep. Like you may have seen me a few times in this footage, but like you can actually, so you can only move a certain amount of, each character can only move a certain amount of squares, right? But if you can get to another character within that move, they can propel you and like
so that's the thing,
sling you places.
Unlike XCOM, there is no sprint. You can't choose to move within your range and then move again and then not take an action. In this, you can only move within your range. But if within your range you encounter another player or an enemy, you can then move again and still take an attack.
Yeah, and that's actually a different stat too. It'll actually tell you like
it's pretty liberal.
It's not. I don't think it's a full blown move. Each character has a stat on the status screen that says like number of moves they can take or number of squares they can move after doing a dash through an enemy or a character. So it's like you can maybe move 10 squares normally, but if you get to another character, they can sling you another like. They can sling you, and then you might be able to move like 3 or 4 squares or something like that after you land. That'll give you a chance to like take cover somewhere if you want, or something like that. And you can even unlock abilities from the skill tree that let you like bounce from like, if you can hit one enemy, it can sling you into another enemy, and then you can like bounce, like you can like chain them together.
It's a skill in the skill tree, yeah.
So there's some cool stuff in there, and a lot of it's pretty creative. And honestly, like I just want to say, I think one of my favorite things about this game is just the way it looks, and like I'm enjoying the hell out of playing this on the. Someone in chat asked me how I'm playing it on the go, and I think this is another great game for the Switch that exemplifies how fun it is to like play this as a handheld game as well.
I would say 90% of what I've played so far has been mobile,
handheld.
not on the TV.
Yeah.
Before the podcast, that was like the first time I played it on the TV, because when I got it, my Switch wasn't set up on my TV. I just had it, whatever. And then I have, some of y'all have seen it, I have like a little like bendable arm that I have on my bedside table. And so I was playing last night in bed like on my Switch when I love that. I think it's great.
I continue to be really impressed by the Switch, just as far as like concept and just fun, like the mobileness. What do you like the
mobility?
Thank you.
There's a word for that.
Thank you, mobility. That's the word. God damn it, Crispy.
Can't just
Thank you.
make up words, Nick.
Watch me.
I said mobility.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. So, and I'm not gonna be home for most of the weekend, so I'm gonna be taking my Switch with me. I'll probably be playing a shit ton of this. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I highly recommend it if you have a Switch, because it's definitely.
There's not much out.
Not much else.
Funny enough, this is gonna be a very Switch heavy show in terms of discussion, because in the news we're gonna be talking about all the indie stuff that was announced that's coming to the Switch next year. So, yeah. So,
I mean, I'm going to keep playing it. Obviously, I hope the farther I get into the game, it gets more intense. I have heard some complaints from reviewers about difficulty later on, which is a positive in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be more difficult than more easy.
I can definitely feel the difficult, like it's a very slow increase, but I can feel it. It's noticeable. And I'm starting to get to the point where I have done a few battles where I got good instead of perfect.
Yeah.
So. And I'm only just starting the second world, so who knows? Highly recommend it.
Cool.
All right, what else do we have? I do want to, Crispy. I know.
Yeah.
Before we get to Mages of Mystralia, I just real briefly. I know you played some of that Agents of Mayhem.
I did. I played.
How's that going? Are you like?
I played like 12 hours of it.
Oh,
Maybe 16.
Was that today?
Counting today. Yeah, so
I think that's more than Brad played it.
Probably.
I don't know.
I feel like every
do you
podcast
like
I've
this
heard
game?
about where people talk about Agents of Mayhem, they're like,
I didn't.
don't
I
know."
redboxed it. Actually, on Friday night, I was like, oh no, Hurricane Harvey's coming. Like, I might get
Agents of
stuck
Mayhem.
in the house. Who knows what's gonna happen? So I ran out to Redbox and I rented it
Nice.
as part of
choice.
my Harvey prep. But this game is kind of fucking charming. Like I saw this at E3 and I didn't give a shit. I knew it was by, I knew it was
Volition?
Yeah, it was by Volition. It was a spinoff from Saints Row, which I really, really enjoy. But for whatever reason, this just didn't really resonate with me. And then I started playing it, and it's got a lot of character. It's got a lot of really cool ideas. I really love the G.I. Joe kind of aesthetic of the whole thing. The Agents of Mayhem and Pride, the Cobra analog.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really cool, neat ideas here. I don't think any of them are really taken as far as they could have been taken.
Yeah.
As far as maybe even they should have been taken.
How do you mean?
So, for instance, a lot of the missions you'll see here, this mission that I'm running, is broken down into two parts. I didn't even really finish it in this video, but you'll see the two parts. And the first part is kind of like you're out in the overworld, go find this location and either destroy this machine or kill all the people who are in this area or find this vehicle and run it off the road, kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And then from there it goes into a mission it goes into a section of the mission where you have to infiltrate an underground Pride base, and you're going through this base, and basically that is just like a run of rooms where you go into the first room, they'll have an objective that they want you to complete in that room. You go to the next room, you complete the objective for that room, you go to the room after that, so on, so forth, until you, like, usually it's like four or five rooms, and then you leave the base and the mission's completed. And most missions that I've played so far, now granted, a lot of the missions I have been playing have been side missions. I haven't pushed the story that far because most of the side missions have been tied to unlocking new agents. So I've been doing as many of those as I can to get all the characters unlocked.
Sure.
But they all really kind of follow that same pattern. There's like maybe 5 or 6 different types of missions that kind of just keep getting repeated over and over again. And those underground pride bases I was talking about are particularly egregious because they're kind of these like randomly generated generic underground sci-fi bunker settings
Does it
that
feel,
kind of just get mix and matched.
to me, that kind of sounds like Mass Effect. And so, what was that, 2?
Yeah.
That had all of
1.
That was, okay, I couldn't remember. 1, I knew it was the early one. 1.
Cerberus bases.
Yeah, all the Cerberus bases that were like the exact same.
Very,
almost.
very,
Okay.
very much like that.
And do you feel that it's getting like too like repetitive just because you're doing so many of them in a row, or is
It might be that.
maybe try to do different missions in between?
The main story missions have had a little more variety, but usually that variety has come in the form of, okay, now the pride base that you're infiltrating in this mission is longer. You know?
Okay.
So the game hasn't shown me much other than that. Now that kind of sucks, but it doesn't really detract from the experience that much because the characters are so much fun. Like all these different characters can do completely different things. They all have their own very specific weapon, their own like ultimate move, their own special abilities that you can level up and unlock for them. And they're actually pretty charming. The characters I'm using in this one, there's this guy, Hollywood, who's kind of like the main, I think his name's Hollywood. The main
he's a dingus.
like shooter, and his whole thing is that he's a celebrity who's obsessed with fame, and so all of his shit kind of revolves around him being a vapid Hollywood jackass.
A
Like
narcissist?
his special ability is like he'll go into action movie mode where his gun fires quicker, he takes less damage, and just random explosions are going off all around him.
Dude, I heard
Which is great.
I heard there's like glitches where like those explosions start happening in action mode and they just don't stop.
Oh, that would
Nice.
be fucking terrifying because there's a bunch of them. This other guy that I just switched to is named Oni, and he's like an ex-Yakuza, and he's supposed to be a very like kind of stealthy, precision-based character. So he uses the silenced pistol, and like his main ability is that he'll fire a round that does like max damage. It's like an automatic crit, and if he kills somebody with the crit, it resets the cooldown on that ability. So he gets really good at like chaining kills of just like really neat. And then this girl
Cannot shoot her gun not over her shoulder.
I do not remember her name. Oh no, that's how she jumps. All of her jumps are like these really kind of like poses. She does these poses because she's like a model or something like that before she became
An action hero.
right. She's like a model who also has a background in like mechanical engineering or something like that. Yeah.
What's the pacing like for unlocking these characters?
I mean, so
They're just pure side missions, or are
so
they...
you do the first couple like story missions to get into the game, and you only have 3 characters. But once you do like 1 or 2 of those, they start throwing side missions at you to unlock other characters, and they'll give you like 3 or 4 to begin with. And those missions are basically like it'll be this stuff here, like go out in the world and deal with something out in the world, then do a pride base, and then you'll do a mission as the character that you're unlocking. And once you finish that mission, that character,
You get to keep them.
yeah, that character's yours.
But you switch. You choose 3 characters and you can switch between
Right,
them on the fly, right?
every time you leave the arc, which is Mayhem's base, you select a loadout of characters. You select 3, and you can switch between them.
Do they play off of one another?
They don't.
I mean, like, do
Not
specific
really.
characters
because you're only
bond or
you're only
something?
using one at a time. There's not really any interaction between them.
It's
as
almost
far as
like
their
the three you
abilities.
take are irrelevant to each other. It's just who you can switch to at any given time.
Right.
Which you're
It's-
making that choice based more on abilities.
It,
not
it is really easier to think about it as you're switching weapons,
Yeah.
but the weapons are characters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine, and that kind of gets into what I was alluding at before. In that there are a lot of really cool ideas. There's a really cool spirit to this game. There's a really neat kind of fun property that they've set up with Agents of Mayhem. It's just the first game doesn't do a whole lot with it.
Yeah.
I would be incredibly excited to play an Agents of Mayhem 2. Because I think if this game does well enough, there is definitely legs for them to get a full, proper
yeah.
AAA sequel. This game is not quite up to like the full AAA level. I mean, it's close, but there are some things about it, like the very low number of like assets that are repeated over and over again that feel very, kind of high end indie. You know?
Dude, the weird thing about this game, though, is that it actually is like, or in some weird way, it's connected to Saints Row.
It is
Loosely.
Yeah.
loosely, yeah.
Yeah. So this is more like a spin-off then, but not
Yeah.
really, because it's not very
it's very
upfront
much its own
about. It's
thing.
not really upfront about the fact that this has anything to do with Saints Row. It's just
I
like
mean,
subtle
Johnny
things.
Gat's in it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Gat is a character.
And
I haven't encountered
And
him
I think
or
there's
seen
references
anything
to
with
the
him.
Saints or something in the
Well,
game.
yeah, not
And
only
not to
that,
mention
everything's
symbols
purple,
everywhere.
and the Mayhem symbol is the
Ultor or whatever it's called?
No, it's
No,
the
it's the
Fleur de
same
Lis.
symbol up down.
It's the
down.
Saints Fleur de
Fleur-de-Lis.
Lis. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the game, the creative aspect of the game, the character design, the story is all really well done. The acting is great, and like Brad was saying when he was talking about this game, every character has a line of dialogue for every like cutscene, every mission in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Everything. So like you can be like, there will be times where I'm in the middle of a mission and the characters are interacting with whoever the mission controller for that mission is, and I'm like, oh, I want to hear what Hollywood has to say to this character, so I'll switch over to Hollywood, and like his conversation will be completely different than Oni's conversation, which will be completely different than somebody
Essentially,
else's
there's
conversation.
12 times the replay value there.
Kind of.
If you want to get all
you're
those
not-
little lines.
Yeah, but you're not really. You're not switching characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Don't,
So
don't expect to play this game.
don't
through as one
look at
character.
this as like I'm gonna play this one character for 20 hours and then play again as this next character for 20 hours. It's the switching of the characters is kind of built in the mechanics of the game, especially the fact that certain characters have stat bonuses to dealing with certain kinds of enemies, so that kind of plays into the hero switching plays very much into the game.
Are there like loyalty missions in a way to the game?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, once you've unlocked characters, every character in the game, even the ones you start with, have their own like storyline, like mission storyline that they're trying to complete. For instance, there's the one I can think of off the top of my head. There's a character named I don't know what her name is, but she's an archer. I want to say Artemis, but that's not right. That's just
We'll just
that's
call
Young
her
Justice.
Artemis.
Yeah.
Maybe it is Artemis. Did they really do that? Did they just rip off Young Justice?
Sure.
But her whole thing is that she's a virologist who's trying to cure a very deadly disease in her homeland, and she made a deal to work
AIDS.
with the Agents of Mayhem in exchange for information and a cure for that disease. So her loyalty
Wait,
mission.
they have a cure?
Well, they do because
And they won't just give
because Pride has weaponized the disease.
Ah.
So working for Mayhem to take down all these Pride operations. Here you go. This is Hollywood's explosion-laden ultimate attack. But her working with Agents of Mayhem, taking on missions to kind of subvert Pride's operations in using that disease as a weapon, also kind of gives her the knowledge that she needs. Like she gets intel and data that she needs to help on her quest. So that's her whole thing.
That's cool.
Hollywood is just all about being famous. Oh, his loyalty mission has to do with a rabid fan that from his reality show days that that he needs to shake.
Nice.
Oni's dealing with his Yakuza clan is involved with Pride, and he's working with Agents of Mayhem to kill them all, basically. So everyone has their own loyalty missions, and they're all pretty well done. But, you know, again, like the meat and potatoes of those missions are going to be
Kind of cookie cutter.
kind of samey.
Yeah. By the way, I think people in chat are trying to say that that character's name is Rama.
Rama, that's what it was.
Yeah.
God, it wasn't Artemis.
Cool.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you gonna keep playing?
Well, I red boxed it. I'm gonna take it back, so I don't know. Maybe.
All right,
It's
well,
pretty good. It's pretty good.
The problem
thanks.
is Agents of Mayhem is pretty good out with a bunch of other games that are great.
yeah, which actually
Yeah.
makes me a little like I'm kind of like you talked about whether this would get a sequel, and it's like
yeah,
if it does well, and it's kind of like it doesn't. It's not.
What I'm
looking
saying
good.
is, if we go to like E3 in a couple years and they announce Agents of Mayhem 2, I will be very excited about that.
Yeah.
Even though I'm
will-
not super crazy
I was
keen on
super
keeping
excited
going
about
with
this. When
game.
Chris Davis and I played it at E3 last year, it was great. I loved it. Super excited. It started, it came out this year, and I was like,
Man,
looking at my
yeah.
list of games that are on my
timing
shelf
is
I haven't played.
everything.
And I don't think it's that this game's changed at all. I think in small doses this game is fucking brilliant. But the biggest problem with it is just the sameness of it. You know?
Yeah.
So if you play for 20 hours, you're like, okay.
Well, it's
But
cool
yeah,
that some
first entry in a new IP, I mean, that can be
no,
expected.
for sure.
you
for
know
sure.
that is the nature of this industry at this
And
point.
I really, really hope that this game does well enough to justify another entry with hopefully a bigger budget.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Crispy. Nolan, you have a new game.
I do.
We actually played this at PAX South.
We did.
Was that this year or last year?
Yep, this year.
So tell us about Mages of Mystralia.
Mages of Mystralia.
Mystralia.
Yep. Random
Mystralia.
game. I got an email from the dev before PAX. They're like, "Hey, this game's pretty cool. You should check it out." And I was like, "I guess."
Nah.
And I stopped by their booth, and I was like, "All right, you email me. What do you want?" And I played it, and I was like, "Hey, this game's pretty fun." Concept is it takes place in this world where
Australia.
Australia, exactly. There was once mages were abundant. There were just people
Everywhere.
They were mages, and this one king who was a mage, he became king, and he got a little crazy with the magic. He started delving into some dark stuff.
never happens.
Yeah, and he
Most people exhibit
destroys
self-control.
most of he just destroys the world, and so they outlaw mages. Mages no good. If you were a mage, they kill you. And so this
harsh.
girl Zaya is born a mage, and so she has to hide it. And she, one day meets this mentor who's like, you know what, I'm going to train you. Go off onto this forest and whatever. And then she goes off and she finds this spell book that's weird because not only is it a spell book, it can talk. Kind of like
Magically.
from Nier. What is the book called?
Grimoire.
Grimoire
Yeah,
Vice?
Grimoire
Yeah.
Vice. Kind of like
Thank
that.
you.
So the book's talking to her. It's telling her all this stuff. It's teaching her how to do these advanced spells. And the mentor is like, "Oh, good. You can help us now that you know this stuff because we need to sneak into this place where mages aren't allowed to go, and everyone who's there."
Wait, the book wants you to do this?
No, your mentor.
Oh,
you,
okay.
you find out there's actually this group of mages that have been practicing in secret, but where they need to go is kind of bad territory, and the people who there know about the mages.
Goddamn apostates.
So they're like, "Hey, this little girl, no one knows she's a mage. Let's send her in there." So the thing about this game that makes it kind of unique is the spells. So they start off very simple. Like you have like
Fire.
kind of,
Ice.
yeah. So you have fire, you have ice, you have one that's kind of
I guess, right?
It's kind of like
Wind,
electricity,
water, heart?
but it's just like almost like a kind of like a shock, like a pulse, like a I don't know, physical kind. I don't know what,
Thunderwave.
yeah, kind of. And then you have like wind, and so they all start very simple. You just you make a fireball, and it literally is a fireball sitting in front of you, and you make ice, and it's just like a little plop of ice.
Yeah.
But then you start learning modifiers that you can modify these skills. So you have one that's called move, and literally all it does is move the attack. So you cast fireball, and it makes a ball, and it shoots it forward.
I was trying to
So you
remember
like
this.
meta magic feats?
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's like in any other game where you would throw a fire spell would be like a projectile fire spell.
Yeah.
You actually have to make it a projectile
Correct.
fire spell in this game.
Yes, and so here's some of the modifiers I'm showing, but you can do all these crazy ones. So I haven't even unlocked all of them yet. So you have the move modifier. modifier, then you can tack onto that move modifier right. So when you cast it, it will veer right. So you can actually make it like a circle.
Yeah.
And then you can have other ones that will, make it more powerful. You can have ones. I unlocked one that chains. So as soon as the fireball makes an impact, it will do one of like the shock attacks.
Yeah.
And then I have another one that's duplicate. So when I cast the fireball, it's actually 3 fireballs. Then you put move on that, so you have 3 projectiles, and then you cast whatever it's called, like the lightning thing, but then that chains, and so you because on that lightning you have a duplicate on that, and so I think later on in this footage you'll see me start casting fireballs, and then I got the bounce ability, so now they start bouncing off walls, and it gets fucking insane.
Yeah, I remember when the dev was like kind of demoing it or whatever, and like we started doing like really simple stuff.
Yeah.
And by the end of the demonstration, he was like, "And watch this," and like was doing all these modifiers and shit. And, like he would do one thing, like the fucking room would be like.
Yeah, so
shit everywhere.
The problem is you have mana. So the more you tack onto that, the more mana it uses, which means that like spell I have that does fucking everything, I can do it like twice, and then I'm out of mana.
Yeah.
And when you're out of mana, you're kind of stuck.
So there's incentive to be kind of what's
stingy?
frugal.
Yeah, frugal. Yeah. So that's the thing, is you can create. I don't know how many, like many different spells. So I can have like the basic fire spell. See, I just got the duplicate. You can have the basic fire spell, and then you'll have one. So you have a list. You can make different like mixes of them, and they can easily swap on the fly which one you currently have active. Which is really
simple
helpful
to do all this stuff?
Yeah, no, it's super simple. It's really intuitive.
Like I talked to y'all, Lynx, about like games that like are super menu heavy, just kind of turn me off. But like the concept is so cool.
It is, and so the duplicate I just got. So I had an ability where the wind ability, when I attach the duplicate to that, it will create a duplicate of me, like a statue of me.
Like a shadow clone?
Exactly. And I know this not from playing this recently, but from playing it when I was at PAX. You can have that duplicate you create do spells as well. Wow. So you can make a duplicate that casts a fire spell and then leave it there and then go somewhere, and it will just start casting fire. And like it gets into like when I played it at PAX, he unlocked everything for me, so I got to just dick around with all the different combinations. But I'm not there yet, and I can't remember when it was in this footage. I should have started a little bit later because I think sometime soon is when I realized, oh shit, I haven't put duplicate on my fire, and that's when I throw duplicate on there.
That's a really smart way to like get people excited for your game. Is like, here, I don't know, were they doing that for everybody? Or
no, not for everybody.
I feel like it's like, here, play this demo where we've kind of unlocked this playground for you, and just so you can kind of get a taste for like all the possibilities, because then that's just kind of like whetting your appetite. Like, I want to see what else I can fucking do. Yeah, which will then lead people to actually play it when it comes out. Yeah, exactly.
So
all wet.
So how many spells can you have set like at once? Is this
all of them?
So you have your 4 main spells.
Okay.
And then you can have at least 6, maybe more of them like modify, probably more. I don't know. Like right now, I think the max I have is 5, just because I haven't needed any more. But yeah, here you go. So I just realized that I could put the duplicate on my fire and like the chain. So in the next like couple of battle I enter, I start doing it. But yeah, anyway, so the story of this game is kind of interesting. There's this whole eclipse going on. Everyone's in the world's freaking out.
Kind of like last week.
Exactly. No, that was the crazy thing. Was I was playing this like a couple of days after the eclipse, and I was like, "What the fuck? Did they time this release?" No, this game came out like a little while ago. It didn't just come out. And yeah, so the one thing I don't know how long this game is. I've played it for like 6 hours, and the last time I was in the menu, it said I was like 40% complete. Oh. So it might not be as long as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was wishing it'd be a little bit longer, but we'll see. Like I've been getting these purple soul beads, and I don't even know what the fuck they do yet. But so that's the other thing. I have 2 wands. I have one wand that's a basic one. I have another wand that like increases my fire spell.
Elder wand.
Yeah. But there's like slots for like 20 wands. And so like I'm just kind of curious as to, I don't know if
there's slots for 20 wands and you have 2.
I don't know if like
but you're 40% complete. I don't
know if that percentage is 100% accurate.
It's a big old golf bag of wands.
But yeah, do you see all the shit going on? So the other thing is there's a modifier that's random. So it will cause a random event to happen when you cast the spell. But the thing is, since you chose random, it will give you the mana back. because it's kind of like you don't know what's going to happen, so you'll get some of the mana back. But so, yeah, so it just gets insane. There's so many fireballs flying around.
So many particles, so many fireballs.
But as you can see, like my mana like just goes fucking from 100 to 0. Like,
does it slowly recharge by itself?
Yeah, no, it will on its own. It will slowly recharge. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so this is me inside one of the like temple kind of things. It's kind of Zelda-esque. You run around the open world and you find a temple.
Okay, so there's an open world aspect.
Yes, so there's a hub world, or like there's just
like an outdoor
world
area.
Yes, with towns. You can go into towns. You can talk to people and you can get quests. Like there's this girl who lost a bunch of her wares. They were stolen by goblins, so I had to go and fight the goblins to get her wares back. And I met this guy who he's like a woodworker, and so he fixed a bridge for me that was broken so I could cross it. Yeah, no, this game is pretty in depth, like way more than I thought. Because when I played it at PAX, all I got to play was a dungeon.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that hub world existed, and so that dungeon was the first dungeon that I played when I played this.
I like the look of it too.
No, it does look good.
Pretty nice looking.
This is the second dungeon. The first one was this kind of ice dungeon, and you have to. It's all about using your magic, your spells, and your combinations to solve puzzles.
Yeah.
This is there are these kind of like line puzzles in the game. None of them are mandatory. Usually behind them is locked like a chest with some stuff in it, like a currency essentially.
Yeah.
There are these green orbs that you use. Like I had to can you? There's this one guy who's like, hey man, I'm short. Like, can you loan me like 75 orbs and then I'll give you an IOU? And then he gave me like a thing. It's like, Jack owes you one favor for later. And I don't know when that's going to come into play, but I guess it will sometime.
Whenever you want, Nolan. Cash in that favor.
But yeah, so I don't know how much I can talk about this. Like I say, this is the second temple, which was inside another town.
Yeah.
That I found, kind of like a larger town, like with a city with a market and all this stuff.
How much is this?
I don't know. I got this code from the dev.
Damn you, Nolan.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
It's probably not.
Maybe I'll look
much.
it up during the break. It does look really cool. I wouldn't mind finding time to play this if that time existed.
Yeah.
What the heck?
That's interesting. But yeah, so Mages of Mystralia. I'm going to play it more. I'm probably forgetting stuff like that thing right there. That's a warp point that will warp you to like a puzzle.
Yeah.
That's optional. It's way crazier than I thought it originally was.
Well, it looks fucking cool.
And I'm excited to keep playing it. Unlock,
Mages of
once
Australia.
again, I've unlocked maybe a third of the different spell modifiers.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited to start
So now
unlocking
you can do
more.
some complex shit.
Yep.
I've seen it
Yep.
with my own eyes. So yeah, it's Mages of Mystralia. It's just on Steam, right? Or is it
No, I think it's on consoles too. Don't quote me. I'll double check. I know
that looks like a great game to play on the
dev-
Switch.
Yeah, the dev sent me an email.
You think
talking
everything
about,
is a great game to play on the Switch?
There is a lot that would be great to play on the Switch, and I think Nintendo is realizing that too because their catalog is growing very quickly.
Mages of Mystralia is now officially out on all major platforms: PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Major platforms.
I said major.
Switch is a major platform.
That's not what he said.
It's minor.
I think
apparently.
that is an oversight on the devs' part because Switch is a major platform.
You should write them a very heavily worded.
Perhaps I will.
The crazy thing about this is this is the studio's first game. There's like I want to say like 8 or 15. It's actually a fairly small team.
Yeah.
And they just all decided, hey, we really want to make a game, and they did. I think they're out of Canada, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Just a joke. It's $20.
Okay, not bad.
It's currently got a 9 out of 10 on Steam from 200 reviews. It's pretty good.
I see some contention in chat about saying Switch isn't a major platform. And you know, by the numbers, right now, probably not a major platform, but it will be. It will be.
Nick, does it have a Call of Duty game on it?
No,
That's
fuck
not a
off.
major
It could, it could, but who wants to
Is that
play
a Destiny
Duty?
game? No.
Who wants to play Call of Duty on a Switch?
Probably a couple million people.
Probably a bunch of 12-year-olds, Nick.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, we need to take a break. When we come back, I know we got a couple more games to touch on, and then we have some news. We'll actually talk about some Nintendo had their
Nindies.
By the way, why don't they call that the Nintendies instead of just Nindies? It seems like they left out a key part of their own fake
I don't know.
word.
Maybe it rolls out the tongue better.
Nintendies.
I like
It
Nindies.
makes more sense in
Nindies.
Japanese.
Whatever. Nintendies. Sorry. The Nindies showcase was a few days ago, and they announced a bunch of...
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I guess it was yesterday. Yeah.
So long ago.
Yeah, sorry. It was yesterday. Nindies Summer Showcase was yesterday. They announced some new indie games coming to the Switch. So we'll talk about that. We'll answer some questions from our supporters on Patreon. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Before we get to news, I know we have a couple more games to touch on. Chris Davis, you had a couple weird, unexpected games that were on the list this week?
and pretty cool games.
All right,
I'll be the
This one's
judge.
called Player
We'll
Unknown's
be-
Battleground.
No,
might
I
be
guess
getting
we'll
that soon, by
kind
the
of
way.
start in alphabetical order. The first one is called 20XX.
Huh.
And this is a game I
XXX.
think Nolan would be particularly interested in.
I think we saw this at PAX South.
Did you assume my interest?
Yes, I did.
All right, 20XX. This is the sequel to BMXXX.
No, this
I
is
prefer 20XXX.
not,
shit.
not at all.
Oh my god.
20XX is a Mega Man roguelike platformer.
Yep.
With a little bit of Assassin's Creed, a little bit of Matrix,
it's literally
Sorry.
a Mega Man.
Holy shit, this looks like
Mega
Mega
Man
Man.
meets Rogue Legacy, basically. You play as either Nina with a Mega Buster or Ace as the Zero clone, basically. And you play through these 8 Robot Master stages with permanent upgrades and permadeath that you get between lives and everything. And it's
This looks Mega Man as fuck.
it is Mega Man as fuck. You're about to see. I'm just going through like the main menu here. I'm going
You're in a
through like
menu?
This is clearly like the hub world where you buy
This is the hub
upgrades.
world. On the left there is stuff you can unlock to purchase later. In the middle are permanent upgrades that you can spend money on. And on the right are temporary upgrades that you can do for the next run that you do.
Okay.
I just decided
Why are you
to-
going into a vagina?
Well, that's the portal that goes into the run.
That portal did look an awful lot like a vagina.
But it is
would you know?
100% Mega Man.
Fuck off.
Everything, including the dash, the blast, the charger from the X-Buster. I mean, it is fucking Mega Man as hell.
What enticed you to play 20XX? I'm just curious.
Because the
So many
idea-
games out right now. Chris
Because the idea of a Mega Man roguelike game not having been done before kind of shocked me.
Davis. So are you a big Mega Man fan?
The only
He's a
Mega Man game
Mega
I've ever
Man
beaten
fan.
was the first X. And I absolutely love that game. I can't beat any
I've
other Mega
never
Man.
beaten a Mega Man game in my life.
So what just happened? So I see like you
So
jumped.
they
and
do
you,
some interesting things, and they build off of like Mega Man ideas that should have been like built into the core experience. So there's damage numbers first off.
I like damage numbers.
There's lots of damage numbers. You hit an enemy, boom, damage numbers. But whereas like things like spikes and pits and like lava and things like that would be instant kills in Mega Man games.
Yeah.
No, it just bumps you, resets you to the last stable platform that you were on.
Oh, so
and
it was
just costs you 1 life point, and that's it.
It doesn't seem very.
So it's not very punishing, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
It's not very punishing for the first 8 stages. It's once you've
You said
beaten.
there's only 8.
No, well, it's a Mega Man game, so it's never just 8. You go through the 8 Robot Masters, and then you go for like the main boss or the source of like everything bad that's happening.
Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily, basically, and they have like a Dr. Light and Dr. Wily, companion thing going on in the game. The idea is that Nina and Ace are contract workers for hire. They're basically sent off to save the city, and they're paid to do so. But once they die, the contract ends, and basically Dr. Wily and Dr. Light knockoffs, they kill you. And then they use the scrap that you've collected towards the next run. They basically just clone you back again. But yeah, it's a fucking Mega Man
That
game.
sounds horrifying.
I mean, but it's done with a nice art style.
It's a
That's okay.
fucking Mega Man game, so it is 20XXX.
Sex. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no,
No, it looks cool. I mean,
it's cool that there's they're permanent upgrades, but there's also the temporary ones, which are like armor and upgrades to your blaster. Like And there's all these fucking sort of in jokes. Like there's remember in Portal 2 how Gladys was stuck in a potato?
Yeah.
Basically, that's a power up in the game.
Wait, really?
It's called a potato battery, and it gives you
In
extra
Portal 2?
energy.
You don't remember that?
No,
yeah,
I don't.
GLaDOS got turned into a potato, and then she's stuck on the end of your portal gun, like talking to you the whole time.
Oh, I'd forgotten all about that.
Shut up.
Dude, this is what...
You'd remember if you saw it. I'll look.
I mean, no, I mean,
look
I
at a
vaguely remember it now.
Look at a picture. You're gonna
No,
go,
like
oh,
half the power-ups in this game are like in jokes to various different things. Like you can get a speed upgrade, which is like a bandana from fucking Naruto.
So the
Because you
run-
gotta go
do that?
fast.
So like, oh god, does he do the run? Does he do the Naruto run?
No,
Well, he couldn't
does
do
not.
that run if he was shooting.
But there's some really
don't
fucking cool
remember the
upgrades.
potato?
Once you beat a robot master, and you can usually beat these stages within 5 minutes, you can choose to either get a payout, get the boss's weapon, or get a run specific upgrade. So you can get like extra life, or you can get cash for it.
It's
or
only
you
good
can-
for that one run.
but it's only good for that one run, and then you choose one of the 3 next stages to go to. The only problem I have with that system is that a lot of the levels are pretty samey.
Yeah.
Like you'll see, like this second stage is going to look very fucking similar to the third stage.
Yeah. Well, this one
and-
looks pretty dramatically
But the
different.
thing is, each
Tonally, at
level
least.
is procedurally generated.
Yeah.
So, like any good roguelike game. So, there's not a whole lot of variety, so it doesn't feel that good. The main currency in the game is soul chips. They're pretty rare, but but you can use that towards buying the permanent upgrades. But there's so many other things like.
But
there's
the
a
appeal
health
of any
station down there you
roguelike, the appeal of any roguelike, right, is to like essentially for it to never end. You just kind of keep going.
Yeah,
right?
but in there, I feel like there.
Did you already beat the quote unquote story? Is there a story really beyond?
So-
I mean, I know you talked about kind of
There's
the concept.
not really a story. They
Okay.
really don't do that much. The most story that you'll get in this game is like when Dr. Light and Dr. Wily are basically talking on screen at the end of a match. Or at the end of a run. That's about it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I typically, the amount of story I typically expect from a roguelike. But
Yeah, but you know, if at least Mega
the
Man has more
platforming looks
story
fun
than
though.
this.
I'll give it that.
The platforming is pretty good. And the variety of the upgrades that you can get, like I just got like the ability to air dash in any direction basically. So I can do a dash jump in addition to an air dash.
Okay.
Which makes platforming so much better. There's these challenge rooms that you can go in to get like these basic upgrades for a run. Some things can be actual permanent upgrades. It's extremely rare, but it can happen. But yeah, I just got this armor upgrade in which there's a percentage chance every time I do a successful attack, I'll get some health back.
That portal you just walked into looked an awfully lot like something out of Doom. Is that just me?
I mean,
it looked like a monster from Doom.
I don't know about that, but
all people, you should know about that.
it didn't look like it to me.
I agree with you, Nick. I know what you're
Thank
talking
you.
about.
Thank you. It looked like one of those demons called
I don't remember.
no the
Cacodemons?
yeah, it's like cockademon. It's a cockademon.
Cacodemon.
Once again,
Cockademon.
20xxx
Like the-
of cock doors and vagina
Like
portals.
the first 8 stage, like you're gonna see right here, there's all sorts of Mega Man throwbacks. Like the name of Mega Man's dog in the first series, Rush. Yeah, you basically get a cat companion that you can upgrade and have him give you
cat
like.
companion.
It's a cat robot. Yes.
Now we know why Chris Davis
and his name
is playing
isn't
this
Kit
game.
Tin.
And you can get upgrades where every 2 levels, you can
name
find
is
him on the stage,
Hurry.
and he gives you like temporary bonuses that you can use towards the run.
Well, that's cool.
And like I said, the first 8 stages, I mean, they're all right. You don't. I don't think any of the boss power ups, because you can only hold 3 at once.
yeah.
I don't think there's any boss power ups that are like bonuses against specific bosses, like traditional Mega Man.
Yeah.
Man, I
And
haven't
in
played
all
much
this
Mega
footage,
Man.
in all I've played, really, I don't really have to use that because I'm kicking ass with just like the regular Buster. Because I've got a few strength upgrades that upgrades my basic attack.
Gotcha. There's another game that you've been playing too.
Once you get past like the first 8 stages, and it goes to like, I guess the Wily Castle equivalent, that's when it just becomes this monstrous, just butt fucker of a level with its platforming.
20xxx.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I mean, it is just the platforming, because it's procedurally generated. It decides to just screw you over.
This game has co-op in it. Gamer Beck and chat
there
says
is
game has co-op in it.
You can play as.
Does
Ace
one
and
person
Nina
play
at
as
the same time.
the kitten or the cat?
No, you play as you. If you're playing as Nina, then your partner would be playing as Ace.
You
who's the same
co-op,
ability.
you butt fuck each other.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
And everybody gets their own upgrades and things like that.
Were you joking when you
pretty
said
cool?
Nolan, were you kidding when you said the cat's name was Kit 10?
No.
I don't think that's
sorry.
the name.
Yes, I was
But
joking.
no, that would be great.
No, his name is Hurry.
That's a joke.
That's
Actually, that wouldn't be bad though. That'd actually be pretty good. I don't know. I think the game is pretty decent. I wish it wasn't so shallow with story.
How much have you played of this? Like how long?
I played a couple hours because it only came out this past week.
Oh, okay.
Let's,
But once again, at a terrible time for anything to release.
Yeah, but I thought it was so interesting. A Mega Man roguelike game.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
that's
you
pretty cool.
mentioned 20XXX, it got me thinking.
It's 20XX. There's only two
No,
X's.
no, I know. But what if it was 20XXX? It was like BMXXX, and it was like kind of a lewd nudie game.
A lewd Mega Man game?
What master robots do you think could transfer over without changing their names? Like perhaps Woodman, or Snake Man, or like Guts Man, maybe.
I see
What
where you're
master robots do you think would be in a lewd Mega Man game?
I think I see where you're going with this. Oh god, I would pay good money to see that.
Yeah, this game is $20 on Steam.
Cool.
Pretty stinking interesting.
All right, there's one other game that you played that I don't know anything about. I saw it and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is.
Oil
it
Man.
is something.
Is Oil Man a thing?
Yeah,
don't know, is
I think pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Oil Man.
Oh man, I can picture that. I can go any number of ways in a lewd Mega Man game.
Syphilis Man.
Oh man. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it's
Hard
kind of
to
hard
say,
to see from this angle.
No overlay? You don't get it.
Flash Man.
X-Morph
Oh, there's a
Defense.
Flash Man. Yes.
Okay, so
Man,
this is,
ever since that one game that you said you played that was like 30, they checked it was like 30 minutes. People like fact checking you on the amount of game you've played 1.7 hours.
Yeah.
no, which is
That's close. You said a couple
that's
of hours. That's
1.4
close.
hours longer than I put into Perception.
It's
Okay.
a couple of
Perception was the
hours
game.
in that it is technically more than 1 hour.
Yeah.
Which is more than you can say of Perception.
This
Sorry.
other game,
Morph X,
it's
the
pretty
best
cool.
subtitle ever. Defense.
X-Morph Defense. It is a
Oh, Splash Woman.
X-Morph Defense is no.
Oh god, the possibilities are endless.
What was the name of the octopus in Mega Man X?
I don't remember.
All right.
I don't know.
Somebody in
X-Morph-
chat.
X-Morph Defense came out yesterday. It is half
Assassin's
half-
Creed.
half tower defense, half tower defense, half
San
twin stick
Andreas,
shooter.
the movie, not Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, I'm just waiting until Chris Davis starts describing games by comparing it to Get Even. It's like
Well,
Get Even.
This is not okay. Shut up. This is a tower defense and twin stick hybrid game. You play as this alien race that's found Earth and it wants to mine Earth and conquer it and terraform it to get its geothermal energy.
It's not very nice.
And you play as the X-Morph fighter who defends these harvester cores against the Earth defenders.
This is not the first. There's another game called X-Morph, isn't there? Am I imagining that? I feel like I've seen this before, but it wasn't this.
No, as far as I know.
That was XXX Morph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The hardening.
Yes. Yes.
Lewd.
So the twin stick combat's pretty good because you got skill trees you can upgrade and you can morph your fighter to have different purposes like bomber or anti-air or things like that. But it's when you go into the tower defense aspect that's actually pretty stinking cool. So
Are you a big tower defense guy?
I played a couple tower defense
So
Like
games.
the only tower defense game I've ever sunk my teeth into was Plants vs Zombies.
The only
I
tower
wouldn't
defense
even
game I've ever
call
sunk my teeth
that
into
so
Well, then I've never
Assassin's
played
Creed
a tower defense
Revelations.
game.
Oh, right.
So the way the tower defense works is that in between waves or even during
Sorry.
waves, you can set up towers.
Correct.
And you can see those orange paths that are going along the screen. Those are the route that the defense forces are going to be going.
Correct.
But you can set up laser defense grids across those grids,
Ooh, to
and then you
redirect
can
them?
alter and redirect them.
Well, can they eventually like get through those grids, or
no,
is that...
they can't.
Huh, that's
There's
interesting.
I think there's only like a
Wait,
few
so are you
enemies
trying
in
to
the game
stop
that
the
actually.
Earth Defense Force?
Yes, you're trying
you're
to
the aliens.
You're the bad guys. You're trying to terraform the planet.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And by the way, the commander of the Earth Defense Forces, at least in this first few levels, it's the voice actor who did like the agent from Crackdown.
I don't
First
remember
Crackdown?
that.
The first couple, yeah, and I guess the third one too. So
I don't remember who did the voice.
not
acting.
Terry
once you
Crews.
hear the voice, you'll know it.
Terry Crews.
No, but no, it's
pretty
pretty
cool.
fucking fun.
It looks like it looks kind of like a bullet hell.
Oh,
too.
it can be very bullet helly, I mean, and it can be very hard to track the projectiles. But the game isn't that punishing in that when you die, and you will more than likely die in a level,
Unless you're Chai-Tai.
it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost energy. It only costs you time because it takes you like 5 seconds to respawn, and then you're immediately back in the game. But yeah, at the cost of that, I mean, the enemies may roll up to your tower and start
Lots of
destroying the
explosions,
harvester.
lots of shooting stuff. That's pretty cool.
The
I like
destruction's
this.
really good.
Yeah, so you're like destroying
Like,
buildings and
The
shit.
visual fidelity. No, that's actually an aspect of the game because you can find skyscrapers and you can bring them down and they will block the paths of the defenders.
Can you bring them down on the defenders?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can make them blow up. Yeah. No, it's really cool.
That looks cool.
And most of the maps, at least as far as I'm aware, I've only played a couple stages.
Yeah.
They're set 5 different waves, and there's that interval which in between which you can set up your towers and upgrade your defenses. But at least as for the first level, there's a boss wave, and it's against this giant fucking mech that doesn't give a shit.
That's cool.
And it'll blow up all your towers it walks through, and it's just on a beeline to
So
the
it's just like
harvester. So what you have
it's
to
an
do,
endurance run to see how.
well, what you have to do is you have to blow up these skyscrapers that are on its path, and then alter its path so you have more time to destroy it.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool.
And it's just really fucking satisfying.
This
In fact,
came out
it's about to
when,
come in
like
right
yesterday or today or.
It came out yesterday. It was actually part
Came
of my
out on a
4Player
Wednesday?
Yeah, I know.
Who
I thought
does
that was kind of weird
this?
too.
Who does that? You know what this would be great on?
This will be. Oh, this game is like built for a controller in mind. I play with a controller.
Naked woman's body.
It would be great on the Switch.
Most things would be
How
great
about that?
on a naked woman's body. Yes, the Nintendo Switch. God damn.
Kind of depends
But-
on the woman, but
And the way that the game
Nindies
scales
Windy?
the difficulty
You
is
destroyed my
so good.
You just destroyed my transition, Chris Davis.
Like I'm not even going to give you this transition
wrecked it.
because I want you to see this
Pissed all
fucking
over it.
boss.
Well,
'Cause
then you
it's
should have
fucking
turned
cool.
your footage
You're
a little
stall-
bit
you're
better.
stalling for the boss.
Let's just sit here quietly.
I am
and watch
stalling
the
for the boss.
footage.
So, I mean, no, it's pretty. This game is pretty fucking fun.
But
And,
the problem with this game is it's a tower defense game.
I mean, but it's not just really a tower defense.
What was that
game.
one? What was that one tower defense game we played at like 2 or 3 PAXs? It looked like Iron Giant or something.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Like
you're
the
talking about
steampunk?
Fortify.
Fortify.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
action tower
Yeah,
defense.
that looked
Yeah.
kind of cool.
I don't see any big
know, in
bosses.
fact,
I think
let
you're
me
a
go ahead
liar.
and-
Didn't really develop at all.
I like how
Yeah.
I made a comment about I made a
then
joke
we saw
about Chai-Tai not dying, and then Chai-Tai pops in the chat and was like, he's not wrong.
So here's the boss, and the
Oh,
game
yeah.
gives you like a freebie destroyed building, which routes it around the map.
You just killed 1,000 people.
I
guess
mean,
you don't
it doesn't
care.
matter.
I mean,
You're
you-
the fucking alien invader. You
that's what you want.
don't give a shit about the local life forms.
Yeah.
You just want
So
to
you're like
harvest the
Superman.
fucking planet.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like Zack Snyder's Superman.
You're an
You're an alien
sure.
who doesn't give a fuck about humans.
Sure.
God damn it, you couldn't help yourself.
I think I'm more Zod than anything else in the game.
Crispy could not help himself. This game does look
The
kind of fun.
destruction is so fucking
Yeah, if you
good.
like destruction, it's kind of right up your alley.
It's got great visual feedback. It's got a decent amount of
giant
skill
mechs.
trees for like upgrading your fighter. The variety of the mission design and variety. I think it's really cool. I think people should really.
You know
check
what
this
else
out.
has a lot of variety?
The Nindies.
Sonic
For
Mania.
your third attempt to transition.
Sonic Mania.
No, this does look pretty cool. Yeah, Sonic Mania does have a lot of. No, we're not talking about Sonic Mania though.
But you made an overlay.
I
for
made it just in case we had time, but we don't really have time. We got to get to news.
Man, fuck Sonic.
I've been playing more Sonic. I'll talk about that later. We need to move on to news. I was going to say variety. The Nintendo Switch is diversifying its library.
The
guys.
Nindy Swindy.
Yesterday was the Nindy Summer Showcase. It was weird and it was awkward.
Who's
as
that
any,
guy
as any
hosting
good
it?
press conference should be.
Who's that guy?
I have no idea.
Came out of nowhere.
I watched it live. I was
Where
like,
was
who is-
Reggie?
who is this dude? Yeah, I was like, God damn it.
That
where's
guy had
Reggie?
no personality.
Bold young upstart.
He was just reading off a script, and he tried to make some jokes
I mean, I'm
sometimes,
pretty
and they
sure-
all fell flat.
I'm pretty sure he was the head of their whatever they call their indie program or whatever here in Nintendo
The
America.
Indie Dungeon.
The point is, Nintendo held a summer showcase yesterday where they were talking about all the cool indie games that are planning on coming to the Switch. I was also like, yesterday was kind of it for me, guys. I was like, if Hollow Knight is not confirmed for the Switch for the end of the year during this showcase, I'm going to go ahead and play it on the PC.
Well, the problem is Hollow Knight's way too indie for the Nindies. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Is
it's
it
not.
though?
Well,
did you see like some of the stuff they have
the
there
thing
was
is,
pretty
all of,
fucking indie.
most of these games are all developed for the Switch, not developed for some other console, and then also going to be on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
These are all like Switch exclusive games.
I'm just, you know what's gonna suck though? I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna start playing Hollow Knight, and like the next day they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna release on the Switch tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, I've already played 4 hours of it. I don't want to start over.
It's okay.
It's gonna happen. Watch it. Watch it happen.
I didn't watch or was even aware of this thing at all happening. Did they have any information about
Nope.
Octopath Traveler?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
This was.
all indie games.
All, that's
Is
not.
that not indie?
I think that's indie.
I mean,
But also-
isn't Square Enix like
This
backing that?
yeah.
This was not all
And
inclusive
that's
either.
not like it's not a Switch dedicated game.
I
So
don't
This
think
this
so.
is this
It's
was
not?
all.
I don't remember. Anyway, let's.
Yeah,
How
well-
about we talk about what the
Yeah.
Nindies?
So, first of all, this was not like all inclusive. There's probably plenty of indie games that were not even mentioned. Like we do know Hollow Knight is coming to the Switch. They just didn't mention it in this showcase. So, but they did announce some new things. I'm going to go ahead and let Nolan kind of run down the list. We're not going to talk about everything, but you know, there's a few standout things we
There's a
definitely
bunch
want
we
to
don't
touch
give a
on.
crap about. So Super Meat Boy Forever.
That's a straight up sequel,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like there hasn't been a Super Meat Boy 2 yet, right? It's just
But
been
it's-
Super Meat Boy. And
but
then
it's
like
not
It's not.
Super Meat
It's
Boy
not
2.
exactly Super Meat Boy 2 because it's an endless like
an expansion.
it's an endless runner.
runner. It's like an Meat Boy endless runner.
is Super Meat Boy is not an endless runner?
No, it's
No.
level based.
Well, fuck me.
Well,
First
we
of all, I've
suppose
never-
it's an endless runner. We
Yeah,
don't know for
we-
certain.
I've never actually
But it's
played
a
Super
runner.
Meat Boy because
Yeah.
I know what that'll do to me. So I guess I'm kind of ignorant to that.
I mean,
whole
Super Meat Boy is more
thing.
of a platformer
Yeah.
than.
But like what I was watching of this particular game looked pretty platforming, but I guess it was moving at a much faster pace and the screen was scrolling and he was running. Yeah, so I guess that does kind of make it an endless runner. But it's it's an original Super Meat Boy game coming to the Switch,
Correct.
which is next year, called Super Meat Boy Forever.
Yep.
By the way.
Shovel Knight King of Cards.
Yes. God, how much Shovel Knight will
As
there
much
This is
be?
the
as they
last
can.
one. This is the
Yacht,
last
Yacht
one.
Club is trying to get out as much Shovel Knight as they can while it's still popular.
I thought it was.
milking
I thought this
How
campaign
many?
was fun.
How much Shovel Knight has there
Oh, I
been
didn't
so
know
far?
that.
Yeah,
I want to know how many Shovel Knight games there's been.
18.
There's been Shovel Knight, Plague of whatever, the one before Plague, and King of Cards.
And he's also shown up in like every other indie game under the sun.
Yeah,
Mom hid my game,
That was so weird.
which was really weird.
Dude,
like
it was-
I don't understand it. Like the guy was like, dude, even the guy talking about it, go back and watch the guy talking about
He
this
doesn't
game.
know how to describe
He's
it.
like, he doesn't know how to describe it. He's like, it's fun. It might be weird. And you might not really know what's going on,
Dude.
but it's a game.
He also opened it up. He opened it making it sound like it was Return of a well-known game, like
Yeah.
the way he phrased it. And I was like, "Oh, what's this gonna be? What?"
Yeah.
either this game is gonna be like a $1 game,
Yeah.
or it's gonna be like Frog Fractions 3.
Well, so the thing
something
is,
like that.
he described it like WarioWare, and he was like, "Oh, it's kind of like WarioWare," and it's like, but all it seems you do is you tap around a room until you find the video game console that was hidden, and it's like, what?
Your mom hid your game and you're trying to find it.
It's-
That was probably easily the most indie-looking fucking thing I saw there.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Weirdest concept.
Like, if
ever.
it's not any more complicated than just tapping the screen until you find the Game Boy or the whatever, like it's, I don't know. Golf Story.
this was
that game looks so
it has
good.
potential,
dude. Golf Story looks kind of cool because
it's interesting.
it's a fucking RPG.
Yeah.
With a story.
Yep.
And an open and a world.
Yep.
With towns and people and dungeons, but everything
The
you
whole
do
time you're like
brought this game
playing
out months
golf.
ago.
everything you do is filtered through the idea of playing golf.
But not just golf, also like
Mini golf?
disc golf, and there was something else too. It was like regular, like mini golf, disc golf. There was one other thing I can't remember. Someone in chat's got to know. what the other like kind of type of golf or whatever they described, or kind of type of little game. But yeah, it looked kind of interesting, just kind of running around the world, like shooting, putting your golf balls, but then like talking to people, and like I had a really interesting art style too. Drones, like mini drones, like RC drones was one of them.
Because you can play golf with drones now, apparently.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, that conceptually that looked pretty fucking cool. I'm hoping that turns out well.
Floor Kids.
I don't even remember this one.
Yeah, it was like they were like
it's the one. It's a breakdancing game, a rhythm game. But it's got an interesting art style.
I tuned that one out.
Art style was interesting.
I'm gonna be honest. I tuned that one out.
I have to wait on that one to see more.
I mean, it looks like it's hand drawn, but it's
Wolverblade, which was that kind of actiony like beat 'em up. There's like the guy running sideways and slashing up dudes.
I may not have been able to watch that part. Okay. There was a few chunks of this press conference that I didn't really get to.
There was one game in that presentation that I swear the visual design looked exactly like Octodad.
I don't know. Hold on. Let's go through the list. Wait. So hold on. This is not all Nintendo exclusive then, because Polybridge is on the list, and Polybridge has been out for PC for a while.
There are a few games that already exist,
as well as
other
Kentucky
platforms.
Route Zero.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a big one I wanted to talk about, because Kentucky Route Zero is coming, and I've been hearing great things about that. And unless I'm mistaken, I don't think all the episodes are even out yet.
Nope.
Episode 4 came out this year.
Yeah. So this is actually the 5th. All 5 episodes are coming with Kentucky Route Zero on the Switch, and I think it's debuting either first or simultaneously with the Switch as it releases on the PC.
I'm assuming it's simultaneously.
Probably.
So when you pick it up on the Switch, I think I might actually wait to pick it up on the Switch, because I've been wanting to play Kentucky Route Zero for a while. But knowing that it's going to be finished and have all 5 episodes out at that time is perfect. So
next up is Earth Atlantis. I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one either.
That was one where the world was flooded and you were fighting against robotic fish monsters.
Yeah, it didn't interest me, so I tuned it out. Next up is Next Up Hero, which had an interesting concept. It was like you were running around fighting like waves of dudes and big monsters, and when you die, like your like memory or remnants remain, and you fight along. I don't know. It was weird. Like so,
it's like Super Time Force.
Kind of like Super Time Force, but it's not you. It's other people. Like you're fighting alongside other people's dead memories. And like there was one point where it showed like 40 fucking dudes on the screen trying to fight this boss, but like most of them were all dead. I don't know. It was weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, you find the remnants of a player.
Correct.
You collect it, and they become an AI companion as you play through the rest of the level.
Yeah. So finally, onto a good game. SteamWorld Dig 2.
Knew that was coming.
Holy shit, I did not see this coming. I love SteamWorld Dig and I love SteamWorld Heist, and I am excited for a SteamWorld game on the Switch.
So you're going to play it on the Switch?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Maybe this would... Do you think I would have to play SteamWorld, any of the other SteamWorld games to really play this?
Nah.
It definitely has...
None of the SteamWorld games have like too much of a story. I mean, so there is a story element to them, but that's not why you play those games. You don't play them for the story. You play them for the gameplay.
Yeah, and I played a little bit of... This was at PAX once, right? Or maybe it was E3. I could be wrong.
What? Sir, what?
I feel like I played SteamWorld Heist.
Maybe Heist. You might have played Heist, yeah.
I just love the visual style.
Heist was the one with the guns and you were aiming them. Yeah, that's SteamWorld Heist.
I played Heist, okay.
SteamWorld Dig was like Minor Dig Deep, the Xbox indie game, which I fucking loved. I played the shit out of that game until I finally found the big the ruby at the very bottom.
Wasn't that part of the
world?
Wasn't that part of Xbox Live Arcade one year?
Yeah, it was. It was $1. Best dollar I ever spent.
Ever? For
a single dollar. For like handing someone $1, money well spent.
All right.
I love that game. But yeah, SteamWorld Dig 2.
That's coming out September 21st?
Yeah, like pretty soon. A couple of weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
That'll be out soon, which means if I happen to finish... I'm going on a trip at the end of the month, and if I happen to finish Mario plus Rabbids before that, I might pick up this to have to play on my trip.
Next on the list was Mulaka.
Was this the weird one that looks like a dude in a loincloth running around?
Yeah. It was like 3D animation, and it's like almost like prehistoric, and there was like almost like a caveman like guy. But I don't know, it was weird.
Oh,
like,
the low poly
game? Super low poly. Kind of looks like the original Tomb Raider with half the polygons. I don't know what was going on with that.
The walking animation on that
it
caveman.
looked, that's just one of those games where I feel like the art style is kind of at odds with what I'm looking for, and it reminds me of like the way I feel about like when I see something like Nobi Boy or something. It's not obviously not that out there, but like, you know, people like talk about it and I like it, but it's like it just the way it looks is kind of at odds with how it plays. I don't know. We'll see.
Next on the list is Yono and the Celestial Elephants.
Oh, this is the one with the elephant dude.
Yeah,
Jack went ape shit.
The
in
little
chat
adorable
watching this.
elephant, kind of like solving puzzles.
I'm pretty sure
like-
Jack likes elephants.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no, he was freaking the fuck out in Discord.
Yeah.
no, it looks cool. It looks you know,
It's charming.
cute elephant.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want to talk. I don't. Uncharted elephants. One of my favorite moments of the year so far. I'm just saying.
All right. Next on the list was Dragon Marked for Death. I don't remember that one.
I remember seeing that pop up, and I was at work, so I couldn't
I
pay
was
full attention,
yeah.
so I didn't see that one, to be totally honest. But it's a thing.
Yeah.
tell you
Battle Chef Brigade was an interesting one because it's like a platformer. You're running around like killing things, but then you have to make stuff with like, I guess, the parts. I don't know. It was weird. It looks weird.
Well, there was another platformer that was revealed earlier this year that was basically the same idea. You went out into the world in a platformer design and you collected ingredients and then you would use that to cook a meal for judges, I think.
Rule of thumb: if anything involves any video game involving cooking, I'm willing to give a chance.
There you go.
I love video games that like depict food and like cooking in a cool way, like Overcooked. Even Breath of the Wild was pretty cool. Like I liked cooking things in that game. Muramasa always comes to mind. Muramasa the Demon Blade
true.
always made me really fucking hungry for
Next
sushi.
up is Morphe's Law. I don't remember this.
Oh, this is the one. This is like the third person multiplayer shooter.
Oh,
This one was so...
That's why I skipped it. As
Well,
soon as
this
I
is the
heard,
one-
as soon as I saw 4v4 shooter, I was like, pass.
But
Yeah.
this one is interesting.
I mean, interesting, but like it's kind of the opposite of what I want to play on my Switch. But I understand it. It's
That's the
conceptually it's
thing.
cool.
It's like,
I think it's cool how they play with player difficulty and skill.
Well,
in
aren't
the
they
game.
like? Don't there's like something that like grows?
The idea is that you want to grow your giant creature in the
Yes.
background to as high as it can before the match ends.
So every
kind of
kill
like
you-
Splatoon in a way.
so
where
every
you
kill
mark
you
the
get
map.
adds to its.
Yeah, but
girth.
it also adds to your character. So the more you kill, the larger you become, and the more you get killed, the smaller your the enemy character becomes. So if you're losing, you're going to be much faster and jumping around and harder to hit versus the guy who's winning, who's huge and can, get shot a lot.
Crush you with his giant. Okay,
with
sorry,
his girth.
with his girth.
What is with y'all tonight?
I don't know. It's when you start
Tonight.
talking about
Fucking perverts.
Triple X games or something.
Next up, Sausage Sports Club.
Sorry.
Yep.
gonna
Just
put my
sticking with
glasses
that
on.
theme.
Oh,
This
God.
one was weird. I didn't really know. There was like little dogs, like wiener dogs, and they were like
I don't remember this at all.
they were like doing. I don't know. It was weird.
Did I miss like a huge chunk of this?
Maybe.
Of this show. I feel like I had to step away from my computer.
Next
for a
up
few
in
minutes.
the Nintendies Triple X Brigade is Light Fingers.
Wait, are you making shit up now?
Nope.
Oh my god.
I don't remember this one.
God, I think I like missed like an entire. Like I was like, that seemed really short. Did I just miss some of it?
Next up, 9 Parchments. I don't remember this one either.
Okay, everything post Morphe's. It was like for me,
Yeah.
it was like Morphe's and what they closed with. So I must have missed.
Yeah, and that's the next thing is Travis Strikes Again.
Okay,
is
that's the big
closer.
thing. I think this is a bit of a stretch to even call indie necessarily, but
Yeah, well, I mean, Grasshopper is kind of.
they're a smaller studio
Yeah.
and whatnot. And
But this isn't a traditional No More Heroes game, though.
Correct.
it's gonna and what exactly.
The idea from of my understanding of what this game is supposed to be is that it's basically you play as either Travis Touchdown or I don't know the fucking bat guy, Batman.
Oh,
Let's
I
call
didn't
him
know
Batman.
Call him Batman.
he
We'll
doesn't
just
have a-
call this guy Batman.
Baseball Batman.
Wait,
Uh,
the Batman's the bad guy.
You become sucked into this
You get
TV
sucked into the-
world.
It's not a TV world, it's a video game console.
Video game world, which you play through these 8 different indie video games.
Yeah, but
as these characters.
But I bet you at the end of each one of those characters, you fight someone and murder the shit out of them in a really tough boss fight.
I mean, possibly, but not in like the traditional No More Heroes style.
I mean,
You're
the
not
thing
in a
is,
3D, you know.
No More
fighting.
Heroes is practically defined by, one, its visual style and its kooky sense of humor, and two, its balls hard boss fights. Everything outside of that is just kind of like just a way of channeling you to that boss fight. So, and honestly, my least favorite parts of No More Heroes 1 and 2 were the parts leading up to the boss fights.
Yeah, leading up to the boss fights was never the best. The boss fights definitely
what
took the
this
cake,
seems like to me is that this is probably going to be, they're going to have these like different indie style games that you play through that channel you to this wouldn't be No More Heroes without these.
I mean,
balls,
the best
these
part
boss
of No
fights-
More
boss
Heroes
fights.
was saving your game.
Oh, on the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has. He's got to save his game on the toilet. There's got to be.
And he's got to charge up his sword.
Yeah.
His
Yeah. There's got
Did you play that No More Heroes?
I played some of the first.
Well, because he had his little light, his like
Right.
electric saber sword thing, and to charge it up, you had
That's
to
not a lightsaber,
Shake the
trademarked.
Wiimote to charge up the
Shake weight it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to shake weight that shit, and you know they can do it again because you're gonna be using Joy Cons.
Now you can double fist it.
Yeah, they're gonna make you do this. Oh my god, that would be amazing. But like, see, that's the
It's
thing.
smaller, but there's two of them.
So you say this is not a traditional No More Heroes game, but really, as long as it has kooky sense of humor, it seems like it has that same art style.
I mean,
or
it's Suda 51, so it's going
yeah,
to.
and as long as it has that, and then it also has a number of boss fights that are really hard, and like against some really colorful, interesting opponents. That is all that I require to call this a traditional No More Heroes game. Anything in between is just like, whoa, whatever. I don't care.
What was the last Grasshopper game?
Was that the fuck the?
No, it was Let It Die.
Let It Die.
Oh yeah, that was Grasshopper. I was gonna go went before that and talk about
Yeah,
No, oh.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Lollipop Chainsaw. The one before that was Shadows of the Damned, right? Those were all Grasshopper.
No. Shadows of the Damn Lollipop Chainsaw. Yeah, was Let It Die Grasshopper? Yeah, it
Let
was.
It
Yeah,
Die
okay,
was
yeah.
produced
But-
by Gung Ho, but I thought it was developed by Grasshopper. Maybe.
That might have been my confusion.
Someone
yeah.
in chat can confirm, but No More Heroes 3, which is what I'm calling it. Travis Strikes Again is the first game that Suda 51 has directed, if I recall, since No More Heroes 2. Or maybe even No More Heroes 1. I can't remember. This is his first game he's directed in a long time, like 10 years or something. Deputy Dangle says Crispy is correct. So yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's got to happen once in a blue
So
moon.
I'm super fucking excited. I loved No More Heroes 1. I got like halfway through No More Heroes 2, and I stopped because that game is brutal. But you know, I've played like 5 Dark Souls-esque games since then. I can handle this. I can do this. My body is ready. I'm gonna give it a try. And you know, it's another great game to play on the Switch. So yeah, looking forward to it. That's really all
That
there
was
was.
everything from the Nindies.
There was
yeah.
another news topic that I don't have a overlay for because it actually happened this afternoon after I made the overlays. And I don't even know there was a event. Sorry, this is gonna be kind of loose on the details because I'm doing it from the top of my head. But Atlas was hosting an event today, a competitive event, whatever. I think it involved playing Catherine. And at the end of the stream, they posted I don't know if it was a short video or just an image or something that basically teased something Catherine related coming, which makes the rumor mill is obviously starting to churn, and people are assuming that we might be getting a follow up to Catherine.
Dude, I'd be totally
which
down
would
for
be
that.
totally awesome.
All
you know
the
what
way.
that'd be great on? The fucking Switch. That'd be fucking great on the Switch. Just
So you could jerk off on the toilet with your Switch?
with my Joy-Cons, yeah. But you know,
Catherine?
I loved Catherine. I love
Catherine
that
with C or
game.
Catherine
Did
with
you play
K,
that
though?
game?
No, it's gonna.
Catherine,
it's
all
gonna
about
be,
Catherine with the.
It's gonna be Catherine
K.
with a D.
Wait, there's no D. So yeah, this is all rumor. I mean, it's not a whole lot to say about it, but that's exciting because I think Catherine might be one of my favorite things that Alice has done with that.
My only problem with Catherine was I don't think they went far enough with it.
Yeah,
there was so
this
much
is their
potential
chance
for
to
the world.
go balls deep, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah,
You know.
but I did like Catherine
Sorry,
a
that was
lot. That was a
lewd.
great game.
Anyways, I'm not sure when we're going to see it. I mean, PAX West is happening this weekend. sad face. None of us are going to be at PAX West.
I was going to register.
Ed's gonna be there.
That's this weekend. I will tell you, if any of you happen to be at PAX West this weekend, you might see Ed lurking around. Ed is going to go, and he is. We're going to be recording a podcast with him when he gets back. But I think he has appointments to play Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein and a few other things that he brought to my attention. So yeah. But anyways. I'm really hoping for a Catherine sequel. But if they're teasing something right now, right before PAX, there's a good chance we might get an announcement at PAX.
It's possible.
You never know. Things do occasionally get announced at PAX, like Duke Nukem Forever, which wasn't quite as really announced as it was just magically there. That was the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
What do you think Gearbox is gonna do now?
Borderlands 3, if they know what's good for them.
I will never forget my first and only experience with Duke Nukem Forever was in the big black box after what's his face?
Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford got up there to us, the small group of us, 20 maybe, sitting in the small room and talk about how excited
this is at PAX.
At PAX, how excited he was for Duke Nukem and how Gearbox was gonna make Duke Nukem great. Now I love this game, and like, oh, now you can walk into this room and you get to play a demo. It's here, and we go in there and I start playing it, and my game crashes, and so I restart it. The guys to come over and like do the thing, restart the thing. I start it again. It crashes again, and then like everyone's fucking fighting a giant boss, and I'm like fucking drawing dicks on a whiteboard. And then they're like, all right, time's up. And I'm like, but can I go again? I need to play. Like, no, leave. I was like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
Turned out to be shit anyway.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it was a funny story. It turns out to be shit. You know what? And a certain part of me believes Randy Pitchford believed Duke Nukem was great. I don't know if he was really alluding to Duke Nukem Forever, because that wasn't great. Yeah. But if he's talking about Duke Nukem 3D, that game is fucking great.
The thing he thought that was great about it was that it was 90% done, and he had to put so little money towards actually finishing the fucking thing.
That is true.
Selling.
That is true. You know what would be really cool though? This is never ever gonna happen. If we actually got a proper Duke Nukem sequel in the style of like Doom 2016.
I don't know.
Never gonna happen, but. That would be fucking cool.
As long as they don't outsource it to what was it, fucking Time Gate or
something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, neither here nor there. We need to move on. Yep. That's the news. Let's go ahead and jump into questions from our supporters on Patreon.
The community.
Yeah, here we go.
No, that's not it.
What?
That's it.
There we go. Thank God for the overlays, right? Am I right?
Patrons. We got some new ones.
Yes, we did.
Did I mention Kurun Half last week?
Who?
Kurun Half?
I don't think you did, no.
Okay. Well, Kurun Half's new pay. I think maybe like right after the show then.
Okay.
Because I know I mentioned MD last week.
Medical doctor, yes.
Yeah, so anyway, Kurun Half, as well as Beta.
I saw that.
Beta, who joined, became a patron and joined Discord.
Yes.
Was chatting it up.
Yes.
Beta, who has very good English, despite anything else said.
Yep. Oh, and look, Beta's in chat right now.
Beta,
look at that.
there he
pops in the chat with a little heart. Thank you, Beta. We appreciate you. Also, just quick Patreon-related thing. I mentioned this last week, and I mentioned at the beginning of the show where we're in the process of rolling out our new branding and everything. And I mentioned this last week. We are going to be rolling out the mug for the people who support us on Patreon at the $15 tier or higher. It's going to have some form of the new logo on it. And we're finalizing the details on that. There's a lot of stuff to process, and we're getting it all kind of rolled out, which is why it's taking a little bit longer, but we're going to have that ready for you guys soon.
Speaking of nothing to do with that, Crispy, did you know that Gundam versus Beta?
Wow, I was way off base.
I downloaded it 2 days ago.
Oh, just making sure.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure you knew.
Thanks for looking out.
Community members
But
who
I'm
didn't
on
know.
top of it.
Gundam versus Beta.
This weekend,
Yeah.
the 2nd through the 4th, I'm going to be playing some... I'm broadcasting on Saturday, so I'll probably be playing some Gundam versus.
Nice.
Sweet.
For that.
All right, so let's
just
get
want to
some
make sure
questions
miss it
from our patrons.
Oh, I appreciate it.
First question this week comes from Cobra.
Cobra.
If, for whatever reason, you had to be adopted by someone on the cast, who would you want that person to be, and why?
Well, technically, Brad is now the most experienced father here.
Debatable.
Nolan.
He's only got a couple days on him. but not that.
I've changed more diapers than Brad, probably.
At this point, probably, yeah. So
I vote Nolan.
I think, yeah. Nolan, will you be our? Oh, I don't know what Crispy's gonna say, but I feel like Nolan would be the best vote here. Will you adopt me, Nolan?
Sure. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to adopt you, because I'm going to be adopted by Jack.
Can you adopt someone if you? Well, that's a dumb question. Never mind.
I don't even know what I was going with.
You were adopted. You can no longer adopt anyone.
Not fair.
I feel like Nick's the kind of parent that would put apple slices instead of fruit snacks in his kid's lunch.
He'd do it.
What?
He'd do it
I'm
too.
pretty sure he would put Cheddar Bay biscuits in his kids'
Fuck
lunch.
yeah, every day until
Into their heart
they're gonna
clogs.
die of heart problems at the age of like 10 because they're gonna
Yeah.
get Cheddar Bay biscuits
And
every
he
single day.
waters down the apple juice.
Oh.
You must think I'm a monster.
I mean,
I don't know where you're getting this
Dude,
idea.
kinda do.
I would totally water down
Mr.
apple
Almond
juice.
Milk.
That's way too much
Hey,
sugar.
I was only drinking almond milk because of health-related reasons that I've since abandoned.
Dude, you water down apple juice so they get used to the watered down version.
Why would you need to get used to the watered-down version?
Because then later on, you literally get twice as much apple juice when you buy it, because you can water it down. So it goes twice the distance.
But then you're
If
preparing them for a lifetime of just like being shocked when things aren't diluted. Like when they're gonna go to a bar for the first time in their life and order a drink and they're like, "Oh, what is this?
Why is this beer so strong?
If Nolan adopted us, we would live in a really nice house and eat cut up hot dogs for lunch every day.
I would cut them up like little octopuses.
That'd be
Have you
nice.
seen those? Anyway, let's move on. Way too much time on that question. Next question from Gonzo Lude. Name a game you love or like that has the worst cover art.
Eco. Oh god, I don't know where that came from. Sorry.
Yeah, Jesus.
All of the Batman Arkham games.
Oh my god, what the fucking
Mainly,
I'm
Arkham
trying to
City.
picture. Wait,
Wow.
Arkham City
Arkham
had
City,
a.
Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight all have really shitty covers.
Wait,
It's a
wait,
game with
really?
bad cover art.
What was the cover art for Arkham City? I mean, I thought
Arkham City's the white one.
that's like my. I'm gonna look it up. I think I
Is
like
that the
one.
one that's covered in like all the reviews? And
Yes.
it's just like 10 out of 10.
No,
Like,
that was like the
those,
old year.
those are all the Game of the Year
Yeah.
editions, yeah.
So that was garbage. Yeah, but I actually liked
Dude,
it.
I don't like the original cover for Arkham Asylum. I don't like the original cover for Arkham City. I don't like the original cover for Arkham Knight. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. And I mean, you're talking about a fucking comic book character. You're talking about comic books.
I'm
The
reminding
cover
myself- oh, dude.
oftentimes is the coolest part of most comic books.
All right, so just so we're clear here. So you do not like
Arkham Knight's okay.
you like the Arkham Asylum one where he's standing in front of the big moon?
I don't like any of them.
Oh man, I like that one. I like the Arkham City one with the white with the contrast.
Oh, I forgot Origins was a game that existed, and that absolutely has the worst.
No, dude, I like that one.
Origins?
Yeah.
You like that? You like that? You like that?
Yes.
You like that?
Yes.
You like that?
Yes.
There's some anger there.
Get out of my face.
Dude, what are you talking about? I think it's great. I think there is far worse cover art out there.
But that is okay. In a 4-game series, that is the worst by a fucking country mile.
No, I disagree with you
Of the
wholeheartedly.
Arkham series.
I think
of the Arkham series.
I think Arkham Knight has the worst.
You shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. I've never been a fan of the Arkham Knight where he's like flying above the Batmobile. I think it looks kind of lame. But
Does that stem from like being angry about the Batmobile?
dude, no, I fucking
No, I mean
dude.
that looks
Are you kidding
cool,
me?
Though. That's like a composed.
Go back and watch my top 10 games of that year. Arkham
okay.
Knight, I was like,
Look.
jizzing all over Arkham
The
Knight.
Arkham Knight cover is not great,
Dude,
but it is a composed image that has some value on its own.
they
The
all
fucking-
have some value on its own.
Okay, fine. I'll grant you that. All of them except for fucking just plain gray background with
that's what it
Batman's
looks like?
face on it.
Okay, yeah,
That might
that's kinda
actually
bad.
that might actually be my favorite.
That is the cover. I'm gonna
God, give me my phone back.
look.
They won't be able to see it doesn't focus.
Oh my
That's
god.
what Nick likes. That's what Nick thinks is a good cover.
It's minimalist. I like it.
Fuck you, Nick.
Fuck off.
I was looking at the games
Jesus
on my
Christ,
shelf.
I was like terrified. I was like, if something incriminating pops up on my phone right now, I'm just fucked.
I mean, Nick's phone randomly does just show pictures of his balls.
Oh my god.
I was looking at some of the games on my shelf trying to find something with bad cover art. I can't really find anything that's bad.
Dude, I think
I mean, maybe Legend of Dragoon.
do you know,
had pretty
okay, first
bad-
of all, Crispy, okay, Legend of Dragoon is not great cover art. But Crispy, do you know what the Eco cover art looks like?
Oh, I know.
That
It's
is
not good.
The eco
that
is
Yeah,
bad.
It's bad.
That's not great.
That,
I will
except
agree.
unless you bought it in Japan,
The
in which
Japanese
case it's
version's
fucking
Yeah,
beautiful.
the Japanese cover art's good.
I think Near Automata, Deputy Dangle in chat, the Near Automata US cover is terrible. If you flip
the
it
flip
over,
is
it's
cool.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah, the
which is
flip
the
is great.
case with almost every fucking game in the world. The Evil Within was fucking fantastic or terrible until you flipped it over. Doom fucking terrible until you flipped it over.
Yeah.
Nick, it's
Doom 2016 might have the worst cover art.
Nick,
Why are you not? Wait, Nolan.
black on
Nolan.
gray.
Nolan. Why do you have? Oh, is it still sealed?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, why have you not flipped that cover around yet?
I haven't had a chance to play the game.
Oh man.
See, the reverse cover art for Doom 2016 is fucking fantastic.
The original cover art for Doom 2016 is the worst piece of shit
I don't
ever
remember
seen.
it.
That's it
See,
looks like
I don't think about cover art. I really don't.
oh man. You know what? This kind of makes me want to bring back that. So David a long time ago used to do these cover art comparison.
But the reversible,
Oh man, I kind of want to bring those back.
the reversible
Dude,
slip cover.
I
for
love
Doom
cover
is
art, but
fucking dope.
yeah. Oh man.
Dope.
Well, fuck you, Crispy.
Fuck you.
Come on, Nolan. We got to get back to these questions.
Oh, you know what?
Playing a game.
I
Nolan-
don't think I love the Dark Souls series, and I don't think any of the Dark Souls games have
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good
Their
covers.
covers aren't
I would
that
agree with
great.
you there.
Like those all suck.
I think Dark Souls 3 cover art was really disappointing.
The international version, or like the European version for the original Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition, has like a cooler picture of Arturus on it, but even that's not great.
What was the cover art for Dark Souls 2? I don't remember.
It's the it's
No
the
fucking
knight.
idea.
Dark Souls 2?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, god damn it! I should have asked.
it's the knight. The fucking what are they called? The
Wait, no. Wait, yep.
Here's the standard rule, guys.
what is that? What is that armor set called?
The standard.
Oh, that's the metal one though.
Yeah, I only have the metal.
That one's kind of cool.
That was not terrible.
What about
this one.
what was Bloodborne's?
Bloodborne?
Oh, Bloodborne is the hunter like standing with his back to the camera, facing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also not
It's
great.
okay.
It's the thing is like it just in general whatever. I think the cover art that we get here in America I think more times than more
Actually,
often
no, I
than
can-
not is not
I
is
also-
inferior to the.
I also think that the Last of Us cover art could have been better.
Yeah.
the original one's pretty good. The one that they did when they did the remake, or not the
Remaster?
the PS4 version. I mean, that's fine. I really like that actually. The one that they did for the remaster is just like
the black and white
black with like half of their faces on it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell
And
you
I
what,
don't like
that
that at
one.
all. There's so much more they could have
Well,
done.
I have a digital copy of that game, so I don't even
Yeah.
look at the cover
One
art.
cover art I actually really do hate is the cover art for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah,
I
that is
think it's
awful.
terrible.
It's just fucking old Snake's face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the
It's
best one.
nothing
terrible,
to it.
which is terrible when you think about like Metal Gear Solid historically has had some of the best cover art. Like,
Why
like,
wasn't
Metal Gear
Noriyoshi
Solid-
Arai involved?
Metal Gear Solid 2?
Substance? Is that the one that has not the
God damn it,
best
Nolan.
cover art? Hold
Dude,
on.
Metal Gear Solid
Substance has Arai art on it.
Metal Gear Solid 2 had fantastic cover art. Metal Gear Solid 3 had fantastic cover art. Metal Gear Solid 4 had some shit.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And Metal Gear
too.
Solid 1 is just super minimalist, right? It's just
Alrighty.
just
Let's
plain
see.
white.
Let's run down here.
Oh my god, Nolan.
Hold
Hold on. Hold on.
Snake eaters.
Like how did they
Hold
how
on.
did they go from that?
I honestly think Substance's art is better than Sons of Liberty.
So here's we got two.
Oh my
That's
God.
pretty cool.
That's cool.
This
We
is a
have,
podcast, guys.
Two.
Substance is
Great.
better,
Okay.
I think.
Substance. I like two better than.
Two's better than Substance.
Talk loudly, Nolan.
Here's the Metal Gear Solid
Metal
re-release
Gear Solid
on
re-release
PS2.
on PS2.
Which is better than
Metal Gear
their.
Solid 2. I actually like that one a lot.
MGS2.
Do they all have great cover art? I think
Yeah,
like
3. I like the 3. That one's
Oh,
pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not a
Subsistence.
fan of the original 3. I don't really like that
it's still
one
better
as
than
much.
4.
Yeah.
The original
Yeah,
3 is still better than
Oh, I
4.
think it's pretty cool.
I like that one.
That one's cool.
Dude, how did they go from that to just like a I think it's actually in engine too. It's like it's like it almost looks like a screenshot from the game.
Wait, show me 5 again?
Yeah, show
4,
them 4
4's
and
pretty
5.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, 4. Yo,
Yeah.
4 is
Yeah, it's
garbage,
4 is
And
fucking dog
5.
shit.
Yeah, just
and 5 is also pretty bad, isn't it?
It's the same thing.
Why?
Just turned. Oh,
Dude.
Not a lot of Metal Gear Solid games.
Boo.
All
well,
right,
as you should, because it's a fucking great series.
it's a great series.
All right, let's move on because we spent way too much time on
That
that.
was a fun question though.
This is a.
Also, fuck you, Crispy.
This one cuts a little deep. This next question.
It's
Okay.
gonna hurt.
Yeah. Live at the Milky Way asks, "Hey guys,
Hey,
I want you to know I've been a fan of the show for about 6 years now.
Is there a big butt coming?
And I really appreciate the diligence in keeping the podcast and YouTube uploads going, even though things like marriages, moves, and pregnancies. It shows your passion for 4Player Network and respect for your fans. That being said,
Oh, God.
how long do you think you guys can keep this up?
Oh,
I'll be sad to see you go, but I know an end has to come sometime.
oh God.
That's actually something I've thought about for years now.
Keep this up.
Because I'm fairly certain when I'm like 60, we're not going to be doing this.
No, of course not.
But yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully
That's
we'll have cashed out by then.
yeah,
If
of
you
course,
happen to be a representative of a much larger firm that wants to buy us out,
Firm.
you can have the name. We'll sell it to you.
First of all, you don't. I own this business. You don't make that call.
$50 in a drink.
Second, I try not to think about that.
Yeah,
I'm just
same.
doing it for fun. I enjoy it, and I don't see any reason to stop right now. So as long as you guys are willing to sit down on the couch with me every week and do this, I'm gonna keep going. I've always been of the mind that like I want to. Even though I'm getting older, I don't want to I don't feel like that should necessitate me not
this is
enjoying
like-
gaming and talking
Well,
about
I think
gaming.
that
This
the
is
reason,
like a hobby.
yeah, well, the reason
Yeah.
I like this so much is because it's not like a job for any of us.
Yeah.
Because none of this have this as our full time.
Yeah.
I think that would make things more stressful and more
Yeah, it would be
difficult.
the fucking
but since
pressure.
the reason I like this so much is because if we didn't do this, who the fuck would I talk to about video games?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It almost like forces us to be friends and talk about
It
video
guarantees
games.
one, I get to see you guys at least once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two, I get to talk about the video games I'm playing, guaranteed, with someone every week.
It's also a good eye opener because for me, I don't read a whole lot of news. I don't really go out of my way to find games and stuff. And so, like, Hollow Knight was a game I had never heard of, didn't know anything about it. And then one day Brad was like, hey, this Hollow Knight game's pretty cool. And then I was like, oh, shit, this game's fucking awesome. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, to answer your question,
Yeah.
I think we'll keep going as long as we enjoy it. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but...
Or when we die.
That was the best awkward silence. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Nolan, continue.
So this next question from 10 Minute Break's very long. I
is from
can't
Chai?
read the whole thing. Huh?
From Chai?
10-minute break.
Oh, 10-minute break. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need 10 minutes to actually read it?
No, he's talking about longtime viewer since JTV. Just kind of talking about some of the good old days, some quotes and stuff.
He said he joined Discord recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I know y'all stream on Twitch, but why not dual stream to YouTube? What is it called? YouTube Gaming?
YouTube Gaming.
Yeah.
YouTube Gaming.
So there's a very quick, simple
Yeah,
answer to this question.
there is.
We can't.
We can't.
Twitch partnership.
We're Twitch partners.
Yeah.
We can't be streaming on other services. That's the
That's the deal.
That's the
That's
long
the
and
deal.
short. It's very
Yeah, trust
For
me.
easy.
all the benefits it's got.
no. Seriously, as soon as YouTube said they were going to do this, I was like, oh shit! And I thought about it for like 5 seconds, and I was like, or not.
Every time we're at a convention looking in at the Twitch Partners Lounge, wondering why we can't get in, we remember why it's all worth it.
Oh man, that's not always the case.
He says, love you guys.
We don't
PS,
try very hard either.
Discord idea is genius. Help me get into community and not just listen to the podcast like the 8 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that I agree. I really like that our Discord is there, and I've gotten to know a whole lot more people.
Dude, it was great. Like
via Discord,
like just like how I can pop into Discord and just have it. Like today, I randomly popped in while I was at work, so I was just like, I need a break. Opened up Discord, popped into the gaming channel. I saw, I think it was the Harry Yeti in Discord was playing Neo, which I'm also playing. And I was just like, I want to talk about some Neo. So I just kind of like inserted myself into that conversation, and then that went on for a little while. And that was just, it was nice.
You know they love it when you do that.
Do they? Do you love it when I do that?
Well, they love it.
Well,
They love
Do
it
they
when
love
you-
knowing that I'm
when
watching
you
their
insert yourself
conversations?
into their business.
a prime example
It's
is
very good at inserting himself.
yeah.
I've gotten pretty
The other
good at
day, I hopped into Discord and I was like, guys, I've been thinking about getting a new mouse and keyboard. I'm actually thinking about like redoing my entire setup. Not computer. My computer's fine. Just like the peripherals and stuff. And I was like just asking advice on stuff. And they're like, oh, this mouse is pretty cool. That day, I ended up buying, and that's the new mouse I have, the Corsair M65, I believe.
Yep.
Ended up getting that just because of people
great
in
mouse.
Discord. And actually, I really like it. Yeah.
Cool.
So final question this week from SMG Sterling. What is the most embarrassing moment of your life?
Oh,
What?
So hold on, let me bring up a story that happened yesterday. Now
Oh,
this
Jesus.
isn't embarrassing for me.
Oh, great.
I got to work early. I mean, I'm usually one of the first people on my team there, not just because I guess my team's like kind of younger people, and they tend to wake up a little bit later, and our work's a little less strict on like schedule. Like, you don't have to be there. You don't punch in or anything.
Yeah.
So, and so I'm there pretty early, and I got my coffee. I'm sitting at my desk checking some emails, doing some stuff, and I hear from behind me some guy walk up to one of the guys that sits near me. He's like, "What are you doing on my computer?" And the guy was like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the building. I'm sorry." Because our building's like a mirror image on each side. And I don't know if he was like new or like just kind of maybe he was still a little sleepy. But he walks, he's like yelling at this guy, like, "What are you doing at my computer?" And then just the realization in his face when he realizes he's like at the wrong spot. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He just starts walking away. And I'm like,
That's embarrassing.
Gotta suck to be that guy.
Oh, God. I don't know what my most embarrassing moment is.
That's tough. A vivid memory I have that's not necessarily like, there's only one other person in the world who was physically there for this, but when I was like 9 or 10, I went deep sea fishing with my dad and some other people. So we're out on the ocean, and at the back of the boat they had like a bunch of pieces of like squid and stuff to use as bait, and I was leaning down looking. I was with my dad, and I'm leaning down looking at them, and then I'm like, "Man, Dad," and I say something like really dumb, like, "All these squid, blah blah," and I turn around and I grab his hand. Wasn't my dad, and it was just like super, like I was like, "Ugh," and I've never forgotten this. This is like fucking like 20 something years
I think
ago.
we all do that though.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I remember when I was like 8 or 9, I walked up behind this woman at the grocery store, and I thought I was
slapped
talking
her
to
on
my
the
mom.
ass, and you're like, "Oh, you're not my mom."
I had like this 30-second just monologue.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I know what you mean. Jesus.
Puberty hit fucking early, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And incest.
I saw an opening and I went for it. I'm sorry.
That's what she said.
It's just
This is why I do this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my shades back on.
I think this is the most embarrassing moment of my life.
you have to concern with these fucks.
This right now.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Chris Davis, continue your embarrassing story.
Yeah.
No, that was an example.
Okay, well, I'm not going to give any context here, and this actually may or may not have been fairly recently. There was just, that one time that I was, trying to make an impression, and I inadvertently got like blackout drunk when I wasn't intending to. That was pretty embarrassing. I don't know if that's like the most embarrassing moment of my life, but it's certainly the most recent one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
can think,
blackout drunk. Like I woke up the next day and was like, "Fuck, what did I do?"
I can.
That's the worst feeling too.
I can think of times where like I should have been embarrassed,
But then I
but
realized
I don't really remember it that way.
And then I was like, "Oh my god, am I a sociopath?" Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
So a story about Bernadette. When we and I don't think
Nolan's just telling embarrassing stories of other people. That's not fair.
when we were in college, Bernadette's a dancer. She likes to dance. She has fun with it.
I can attest.
And we were
I'm
at
sorry,
this
that came out
party.
wrong.
We were at
Gotta
this
put my
party.
shades back on.
Everyone's dancing. Things are. I can't remember. She knows the song. I think she still remembers the song she was dancing to. But she did one of those things that girls do where they start high and they swing their butt down. They get lower. I don't know how to describe it.
Twerking?
Not
Dropped
twerking.
it like it's hot.
Yeah, she did drop it like it was hot, and she split her pants.
Oh!
And she like immediately knew, and she was like, "Stand behind me, and we are going to slowly leave." And I was like,
Oh,
"All
that's
right."
a great story.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then I think we drove, so I don't remember.
You walked all the way back to the car with your arm, like standing behind her with your arm around her, just pretend like everything's normal.
Yeah. So
Oh
sometimes
my
she
God.
watches the show. If she's watching now, I love you.
Sorry. Oh my God. The Nolan farting in the theater during the green zone was
Yeah. That was pretty good.
the best thing that's
Dude,
ever
I
happened.
wasn't even embarrassed though. I was like
You
proud of
should
it.
have been.
I was proud of it.
Oh my God. It was, well, oh my God. For people who haven't heard that story, the short of it is that it was a big group of us in the theater watching The Green Zone once, which is a big war movie. There's explosions and gunfire going off. And then at one point, like, I guess Nolan was trying to squeeze out a fart. And as soon as he was about to let it rip, The fucking it's just like it cuts.
It was
from
a
like
hard cut.
It's like a hard cut from
from
like an action
Warzone
scene to like someone's like
quiet.
office. It was like to someone's office where like someone's just like staring someone down and like tapping on the desk. Like there's no silent, like no sound at all, and then Nolan just rips like.
It was huge.
And the whole the whole theater started laughing. Oh my god. It was the best thing I've ever seen or heard in my life.
Dude, I wish I could do that on command. Like, I wish that would be like a great ability to just be able to just whenever you want, just.
Dude, I couldn't stop laughing for like the rest of the movie. We were like halfway through it.
That was pretty good.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Whew. Moving on. Okay, that was the last 4 questions.
Yeah, no, that was the last question for this week. Thanks to all our patrons for asking the questions. As you know, any
Those
question,
are some good ones.
we've had some weird ones tonight. Be sure to ask them. We post the thread every week. Maybe we won't have one next week since we're doing a D&D night. But just check out if you're a patron and you're in Discord. Every time I post the thread, I'll post the link to it in Discord.
Yeah, also, just something to mention, if you are a member, if you're a supporter on Patreon up to the, is it the $3 tier? I can't remember. But you get access to a patron-specific room in Discord where we can ask you guys questions and let you guys know about certain things that are happening specific to patrons. So you do have to sync your Patreon account with your Discord account, which is...
That's like a button.
Yeah, it's like a quick process. Anyways, thank you for all the questions. Thank you, Nolan, for leading us to that, as always. But now we need to wrap up the show. And we're going to do that as we always do with the 4-player minute. Brad usually starts us off, so Brad's out for a little while. So who's gonna take up that mantle? Crispy, are you ready?
I'll do it.
Good on you,
You'll
Crispy.
do it.
I'll do it. I volunteer.
Hype, sweat, thank you, and fuck you.
Alrighty, my hype this week is for the Gundam Versus beta this weekend. Can't fucking wait. 2 days of full-on, hot and heavy mobile suit combat action.
And like 80 plus suits too, right? In the beta?
and
Are they all going to be available in the beta?
Supposedly,
most
yeah.
of them are,
Yeah.
A lot of them you have to unlock by earning them by playing other suits, but apparently you can get you can play pretty much all of them, which is great. Gonna check out the fucking Easy 8 and the Goof Custom. 8th MS team. Fuck yeah. My sweat. Oh, I just had it and it left me. Oh, actually my sweat is for D&D because
nice.
we have a D&D session coming up, but I have to
Figure that out.
pivot and adjust my plans accordingly. My fuck you for the week goes to Nick for his poor taste in Batman video game covers, and my thank you for the week goes to me for having the good sense to tell the difference between a good and a bad Batman video game cover.
I hate you.
Can you point to a good Batman video game cover?
No.
I can point to a decent one.
Batman Arkham Origins, Batman Arkham City.
Arkham City. Okay, you know what? Fine. I will meet you halfway with Arkham City. All right, but Origins is dog shit.
I think you're confusing that. You have such a
No.
negative opinion of that game.
I hate the fucking game. The cover is a gray gradient that goes from lighter gray to darker gray with gray black Batman on top of it.
It's monochromatic. I like it.
It's 50 Shades of Batman.
I like it.
All right, and my 4-player minute starts now.
Fuck you, Nick.
Fuck you, Crispy.
My hype is for I don't know if I said it last week, but Mario's plus Rabbids. I'm finally getting a chance to play on my Switch. I also play on my Switch in bed, and I'm casting it tomorrow night, and I'm just excited to play it. Pretty cool game. My sweat goes to home repairs after this rain. Big, lots of rain in Austin. Not as bad as Houston, but pretty bad. Not everything on my house was tip-top ship shape, which kind of ties into my fuck you. With like my roof was leaking, and then I had to fucking and the problem is it's not in like my attic, it was in like a crawl space, so I'm having to literally like crawl down to fucking over to the leak, and like it's leaking into my roof, and
I found a body while I was up there,
and I can't fucking like stop it, so I have to like screw some screws into this wood plank and hang a bucket from it in my attic. And then like later on that day I heard a noise, but it turns out it was something in that closet falling over, but I thought it was the bucket, so I like ran in there and I swing open the door and I slammed my fingers in the door, and it was just it was horrible.
It was like a cartoon.
It was just a horrible thing.
Terrible cartoon.
And then shit, I don't know if I have a thank you.
Thank no one.
Thank yourself.
You could always. It's really easy to find hypes. When I find myself hard, I'll just fill it in with a hype.
The hype.
Fill it in with a hype.
I guess
hypes are easy.
Hype's definitely easy. I'm like I said, I'm kind of redoing my desk setup for my PC, and I just ordered a new desk. It's a electronic standing desk, so you can raise it up and down. And I'm excited because I have a standing desk at work, and I really like that because just sitting down for long periods of time isn't the best for you. And so I'm looking forward to potentially I'll be like casting, but like standing.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll be able to like dance around and stuff.
Cool.
So I'm excited for that. And that's it.
Chris
that's
Davis?
My 4-player minute.
Okay. My hype this week is for a game that I didn't think I'd be hyped about for a good long while. It's The Division. Because
son of a bitch.
Yesterday they revealed the update for 1.8, and it's adding a brand new map expansion, the West Side Pier of New York City. It includes the USS Intrepid Museum with a brand new Horde mode and a brand new Team Deathmatch mode. And some drastic changes to AI and balance and a lot of other fucking things that sound really fucking cool that makes me actually want to play this game again since I haven't touched it in March.
That sounds like a positive.
Think of all the
it's
other
also
games.
a free update too.
Think of all the other games that you've played because you haven't been touching the
PUBG.
Division.
PUBG.
PUBG has filled that gap there that I needed.
That's the worst.
My sweat is to just like the next 4 months, because I mean Brad's going to be out and we've got a lot of shit to do. We've got a lot of fucking video games to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Video games.
Like 5 major releases came out like Tuesday.
Hey man,
And
you can't play
end
them
of
all.
October,
just play the ones you
October.
want to play. Between all of us, we'll probably cover almost all of them.
Like I got in an argument today with someone about being able to play a game sometime this year, and I have no fucking time to do it. I have to wait until March when I actually have time to do it. It's killing me inside.
See, you bring that up. People are already calling me out for Yakuza.
Yeah,
0.
I mean,
Which I said I'd play before the end of the year, but
I really wanted to as well.
I knew
make
when I
those-
said that I was probably lying.
just don't make those commitments, Nick.
Hey man, when it comes down to this, when I have to choose between playing Yakuza 0 or playing Persona 5, I'm going to play Persona 5.
Okay.
Just saying. Just saying.
My thank you this week. I don't have a thank you. I'm not thankful. I don't care anymore. I'm dead inside.
Just say another hype.
Another hype.
Just say another hype. It ain't hard.
City Shrouded in Shadow. Please, for the love of God, bring that game to the West. We desperately need it. It's amazing.
All right,
want it
so
bad.
There we go. That was,
I want that game so bad. I'm hyped for
should
that
we
game.
add a plead? Like,
And my
hype, thank you, fuck you, and plead?
and then my yeah, sure. And my fuck you this week goes to Konami and Capcom and most of the Japanese publishers, because fuck you.
Mostly Konami,
Bring
though.
your goddamn games over here. Let your creators just make what they fucking want. And don't cancel Western titles just because they don't sell that as well.
Kill your major franchises.
Fuck
don't
you.
Kill your fan. No, you're making me mad, Chris Davis. All right, my 4-player minute starts now, and unlike you guys, I'm going with 4 hypes this week. I'm in a very hyped mood.
If you say you're hyped for Rabbids, I swear to God.
Fucking crazy.
Hype for what?
Rabbids.
Let's see if this is a cop out.
Hype! Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh, it's a cop out.
It's a cop out.
Oh, I'm excited to play more
You're
Rabbids.
cocked.
I'm excited to play. I mean, that was not
Keep
the
going.
first one I was going to say, but I am very excited to play more Mario plus Rabbids. Like,
pretty
I'm
good.
on the
It
second
have to
world.
be
I'm enjoying it. I
Rabbids.
hope that. I kind of got a glimpse of another world. I saw a jack-o'-lantern, and I was like, oh, this shit is
I
like-
did see that.
Is
yeah.
it like a Halloween land or something?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Why did the first most exciting XCOM knockoff game have to be Rabbids?
Because Fuck you. That's why. My second
Life
hype.
ain't fair.
My second hype goes to another game coming to the Nintendo Switch that I've been wanting to find time to play. I've actually started it, but I didn't get to finish it, so I'm actually going to probably go back and play it when it comes out on the Switch. Oxenfree, announced today, is coming to the Switch.
Yeah, you should finish
I think it's another game that seems perfect for the platform, and with it being announced right before PAX, it looks like we'll probably find a release date for it at PAX, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this month or next month or something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually playing Oxenfree because that game was cool and I just never finished it.
Good.
My third hype is for another game coming out at the end of this month, Hob, from the guys who made Torchlight. Comes out at the end of this month. We played it at a few PAXs. We liked it a lot. In fact, we gave it one of our awards one year at PAX. And I pre-ordered it. It's coming out soon. And it's kind of like a Zelda-esque game with a really cool art style. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. And my last hype goes to, is kind of a weird one, or random one. Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition is coming out, which has all the DLC and all the updates and everything on it.
Dude, I'm sure that will be cheaper than the season pass.
And it's just
because the season pass has been like $50.
It is
since
$60.
day one, or Jesus Christ.
It just sucks. They're gonna. So fuck you for making us pay full price for the game again. But I will say this: I'm excited to play it because it's just one of those situations where I've put it off long enough that now that I've done that, like when I do finally sit down to play it, it's going to be a much smoother experience. So looking forward to actually delving back into Fallout 4. Who knows when that's going to happen? But yeah,
You can get it on PC.
no.
It runs so much better on
Man,
PC.
remember the good old days when they used to put DLC on discs and then
And you
just go
could
to
borrow them from your
GameStop,
friend or get it from
buy
GameStop
it
and
used,
download the data
it,
and then return it. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you also remember the days in which the DLC was already on the fucking retail disc that you had to buy the content for?
You remember the days when
Doesn't sound
DLC
like
didn't
DLC.
exist and it was just the game?
That was before download was possible, so no.
Fucking digital futures fucking us all. Anyways, thank you guys
Fucking
for
you.
listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website, of course. If you have not yet, please go congratulate Brad on the birth of his firstborn son. Mm-hmm. Koji Igarashi already did.
Yep.
Don't not be like... Wait.
Henry
Don't
Belmont
not be
Sons.
like Koji Igarashi. Anyways, go congratulate Brad. You can find him at Folder Brad. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you guys because he's going to miss you guys because he's not going to be on the show for a little while he's learning to be a dad. Also, go watch his top 10 games of all time. It's out. You're going to be seeing videos from us in the coming weeks / months as we put those together. So look for those. And of course, Discord, Patreon, all the good stuff that we've plugged throughout the show. We'd love to see you on there.
And go watch Brad's final video, his Brad Appetit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, don't say his final video.
His final video.
His
before
final
the hiatus.
video as a non-dad. How's that? Don't
Okay.
say things like Brad's final video.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't imply it like that.
People are going to take it like that, man.
Just seems so final.
Yeah, don't say things like that. Anyways, go watch his video. It's out there on our YouTube channel.
And he eats baby food.
He does eat baby food. Anyways, thanks for listening. We'll be back for the next podcast. You'll probably find it in the next 2 weeks. Next week, you can join us tonight, on Thursday night for a D&D session, most likely. And then the week after that, we'll be back to our podcast. And who knows what we'll be talking about then? You never know.
Yep.
But anyways, thanks for listening, and good night.
Bye, guys.